After being reborn, I immediately told the driver to drive the most expensive car to school to pick me up, just because that green tea brother of mine, in order to be with my childhood friend, not only implied to our classmates that I was the only poor student in school, but also pretended that he was the young master of the Beijing upper class. So when he approached me again after school and said if I didn't have anyone to pick me up, I could ride in his family's supercar to go home. A global, limited edition car had already stopped right in front of the school gate. Amidst everyone's gasps of admiration, the driver stepped out of the car, walked up to me, and spoke respectfully. "Young master, the master told me to pick you up and take you home." "I got it. This car is mine." The other male classmates were all stunned. Gu Wu. Why is it Gu Wu? What's Gu Wu's background anyway? How could his family afford to drive this kind of luxury supercar? Tianhao, you're so close with Gu Wu. Do you know what Gu Wu's family background is like? At this moment, Han Tianhao only felt one side of his face, burning like fire, as if someone had just given him a resounding slap across the face. A global limited edition Jojo. How much money would it take just to afford this car? Han Tianhao secretly clenched his fists tight. By this time, I had already stepped into the car. Through the rearview mirror, I saw Han Tianhao's dad. But with the previous car serving as a mere prelude, this one was completely out of its league. The driver saw that I suddenly seemed different and couldn't help but speak up. "Young master, didn't you originally dislike being too flashy? I changed my mind. From today onward, you must pick me up and drop me off every day in a car. The flashier the better. It's best to change it to a different one every day." Hearing the request I made, Uncle Lee was extremely overjoyed. "Young master, you should have done this much sooner." I was originally the golden child of the Gu family. Since childhood, I had been pampered like a precious gem by the entire Gu family. I asked Uncle Lee, "Is there any social banquet tonight?" "Yes, it's about the marriage between you and Miss Ye." "Very well." I remember very clearly in my past life during this banquet, my parents originally wanted to call off the engagement, but Ye Yuyan's mother insisted on having her marry into my family. No matter how many schemes Ye Yuyan tried, she couldn't escape her mother's wishes. After all, the Ye family was on the brink of ruin. Without the Gu family's help, the Ye family would go bankrupt in less than half a year. In my past life, my heart softened, unable to bear seeing the family of my childhood friend, whom I secretly loved, fall into a deep decline, so I immediately agreed to marry Ye Yuyan after graduation. But in this life, I won't be that foolish anymore. Soon enough, the car stopped in front of the Four Seasons Hotel. I got out of the car. With one look, I saw Ye Yuyan had also just arrived at the door. Outside the hotel, Ye Yuyan intentionally waited for me a bit. Seeing me walk toward her, she said coldly, "Gu Wu, I'm warning you I don't like you, and I will never marry you." "Me neither." My words instantly made Ye Yuyan furrow her brows. The hidden feelings I used to have for her, it wasn't that she didn't notice. Even a fool knew I secretly loved her. However, since I didn't say it, she didn't plan on exposing it either. After all, she didn't have the slightest interest in me. But right now, I actually said I didn't like her, and didn't want to marry her. Ye Yuyan let out a cold laugh, only thinking that after being rejected, my self-esteem was just acting up. Inside the VIP private room, my parents had already taken their seats. As for the Ye family, since Father Ye passed away early, only Mother Yi was present. As soon as Ye Yuyan and I entered the room, Mother Yi stepped forward and intimately held my hand. "Xiao Wu, look at you. We haven't met for a few days and you've gotten thinner, but you've become handsomer." Though, I still remember clearly that Mother Yi is the most calculating person. In my past life when I married Ye Yuyan, she had plotted to seize my assets. Even before Ye Yuyan and I got married, she had long since prepared to scheme against me, to embezzle our post-marital assets. Later on, Mother Ye even relied on the money I brought over to the Ye family to enjoy her retirement, even wearing luxurious clothes to attend Ye Yuyan and Han Tianhao's wedding. Looking at Mother Ye's eager and fake expression, I pulled my hand back. "Aunt Ye, compared to last time, I've actually gained a whole 5 kilograms. Today, let's just talk about the main business." Seeing my cold attitude, Mother Ye couldn't help but feel awkward. Ye Yuyan stood nearby, a bit dissatisfied. "Gu, why are you talking to my mother like that?" "I'm just speaking the truth." "Ye Yuyan, what are you getting so anxious about?" Faced with my words, Ye Yuyan barked coldly, "Gu Wu, drop that young master attitude of yours. I know you look down on our Ye family, thinking that our Ye family is trying to climb high. If you don't want to marry me, then just say it straight." Mother Ye angrily slapped Ye Yuyan's hand. "Yuyan, you silly girl. What nonsense are you talking? Our family is currently in a decline. Without the Gu family just relying on the two of us, how can we bring glory to the Ye family?" Ye Yuyan didn't even bother to hide her dissatisfaction. "Mom, don't stop me. What I'm saying is all true. Sure enough, my parents' expressions changed. If they were maintaining the bare minimum of social politeness just now, then right now, even if they wanted to smile, they couldn't squeeze one out. It turns out, Jan had always viewed their son like this all along. It seems your daughter doesn't want to marry my son either. I say we just call off this marriage, Brogu. It's because Yuyan is ignorant. Don't be angry. I will have Yuyan properly apologize to Xiaowu. Furthermore, hasn't Xiaowu always liked Yuyan a lot? These two kids must just be throwing a tantrum at each other. Xiaowu Yu, tell me, isn't that right? Mother. Ye anxiously looked over at me, while I only spoke up nonchalantly. Auntie, you're wrong. Yuyan and I have only ever had childhood friend feelings. Just now, outside the door, Yuyan also told me herself. She said she doesn't like me, and absolutely will not marry me. I think so too. Therefore, my purpose in coming here today is to make it clear to you, I want to call off the engagement with Ye Yuyan. Hearing the words I just said, Mother Ye was stunned, and Ye Yuyan froze even more on the spot. In my past life, I secretly loved her, always finding every way to strike up a conversation with her. She knew all of this very well. How could I suddenly agree to call off the engagement with her? My parents were also dazed along with me. I was originally a stubborn guy. Previously, they had tried their best to dissuade me from marrying into the Ye family, but I absolutely refused to listen. Why did I suddenly change my mind today? Auntie, our family will pass on this meal. In the future, it's also better for our two families to have less contact. After saying that, I stood up and walked over to my parents. Mom, Dad, let's go. Looking at my parents standing in front of me, my eyes suddenly turned red. In my past life, it was all because of my obsession that the final outcome harmed our family, later facing retaliation from Ye Yuyan. To put it bluntly, Ye Yuyan is just an ungrateful backstabber. In my past life, my parents helped her family so much. But after the Yi family monopolized the market, and Ye Yuyan gained power and status, the first target she suppressed was the Gu Corporation. Because Ye Yuyan had too much pride and an extremely narrow mind, she always felt that my parents making me marry her back then was an insult to the Ye family, and even more of a charity to her. Therefore, after gaining power, she couldn't wait to wipe out our Gu family, to wash away that so-called humiliation. This kind of woman is completely undeserving of the Gu family's help. When I went home to eat, I made up my mind to lose weight. My mom didn't say much either, silently bringing a plate of food inside. Looking at the plate of boiled green vegetables and shrimp laid out in front of me, I was dazed. Mom spoke up lovingly. No matter how much you lose weight, you can't starve yourself. From now on, I will tell the helper to help make a weight loss menu for you. The bridge of my nose felt a sudden sting. It's so good to have parents around. Having gone through this life, I finally understand the preciousness of family. In my past life, I was insecure because I was fat, completely ignoring the warmth my parents gave me, and even placing my trust in other people. Thank you, Mom. I lowered my head and ate the vegetables quickly. I made up my mind. Within 3 months, I must absolutely slim down. The next day, I was so hungry that I felt dizzy. When I stepped on the scale, I found out I had suddenly lost 2.5 kilograms. Aside from the joy, I also knew this was merely water loss. Weight loss is a process that requires perseverance, and I absolutely cannot slack off. At school, I had a luxury car picking me up and dropping me off every day, making the other classmates burn with envy. I sat down in my seat. Han Tianhao handed me a piece of chocolate. When I was a kid, though, I was a bit insecure. I actually wasn't fat at all back then. Yet afterwards, I mysteriously blew up. At that time, I thought it was due to too much pressure, only to realize later that there was something fishy, because the time I started getting fat completely coincided with when I met Han Tianhao. Aside from using delicious food to entice me, he definitely used drugs to make me gain weight. Don't be so polite with me. I see you working so hard to lose weight, so eating one small piece won't hurt. As he spoke, he directly shoved the chocolate into my hand. But unexpectedly, I suddenly let out a shout, causing the entire box of chocolates to drop to the ground, which immediately caused quite a stir in the classroom. After the English teacher who was lecturing said a few words, she confiscated that box of chocolates. Looking at the imported box of chocolates confiscated by the English teacher, Han Tianhao's face looked extremely ugly. Getting the item confiscated was just a small matter, but the problem was that something was slipped into that box of chocolates. Standing nearby, I saw that Han Tianhao's scheme had failed, so I sat back down in my seat. The English teacher had always liked taking small advantages. This box of chocolates was so expensive, so after being confiscated, it would definitely all end up in her stomach. I wanted to see how after everything comes to light, Han Tianhao is going to clean up this mess. Soon enough, it was recess. After class ended, Han Tianhao hurriedly went to the office. to look for the English teacher to apologize. The box of chocolates could no longer be taken back by Han Tianhao. Just as he walked out of the office, he ran into Ye Yuyan. Seeing Han Tianhao's spaced-out look, Ye Yuyan asked, "Tianhao, what did you go to the office for?" Han Tianhao explained the reason. Hearing him mention me, Ye Yuyan was a bit impatient. "In the future, you should also have less contact with Gu Wu. Did you forget about the pool incident? Last time. Back then you told me that Gu Wu was the one who pulled you into the water. He up to no good from the very beginning. You don't need to be friends with that kind of person." Seeing Ye Yuyan protecting him, Han Tianhao was secretly delighted in his heart. Thinking about how I had been picked up and dropped off by luxury cars these past few days, Han Tianhao couldn't help but speak up. "I want to ask, is Gu Wu's family background very rich? I see him having a car pick him up for school every day now. And he even keeps changing cars. They must be really rich, right? Are you two childhood friends? I have nothing to do with him. Whether his family has money or not, what does that have to do with me?" Han Tianhao heard the disgust in Ye Yuyan's voice, so he hurriedly apologized. "I just casually asked," seeing Han Tianhao's panicked expression. Ye Yuyan then realized her attitude just now was too harsh. She spoke up to comfort him. All right, I know you're worried I'll like him. Don't worry, the person I like is you." Meanwhile, I was standing right behind Ye Yuyan. I had just come up from downstairs when I witnessed such a shocking scene. Han Tianhao pushed Ye Yuyan away in panic. "Gu Wu, don't misunderstand. Yuyan didn't mean that. Just now I was only—" Ye Yuyan heard me coming, and she decisively leaned straight into Han Tianhao's arms. "There's nothing to misunderstand. We like each other." She was desperate to see pain and regret in my eyes. After all, I had always secretly loved her before, always following behind her like a tail, and even desperately losing weight for her sake. She wanted to let me know that refusing to marry her would be the most regretful thing I've ever done. Just as Ye Yuyan was waiting to see my regretful expression, I casually pointed my finger at the two of them and spoke to the dean, who just happened to come upstairs for patrol. Ye Yuyan and Han Tianhao are puppy-loving. Seeing the dean walking over, Han Tianhao pushed Ye Yuyan away almost instantly. The dean, after seeing Han Tianhao and Ye Yuyan, these two elite students hugging each other, immediately put on a serious face and said, "You two follow me to the office." Ye Yuyan and Han Tianhao were taken away by the dean. When leaving, Ye Yuyan even gave me a fierce glare. As for that childish act of Ye Yuyan just now, I didn't care in the slightest. The current Ye Yuyan basically cannot cause any harm to me. After class, Han Tianhao returned to the classroom dejectedly. The other students all crowded around Han Tianhao to ask what happened, but Han Tianhao only looked at me with eyes full of resentment. In the classroom, Ye Yuyan burst in, fuming with rage. Ye Yuyan burst straight inside, fuming with rage. She stepped forward, grabbed my arm tightly, and said, "Follow me." Ye Yuyan's strength was very great, nearly dragging me outside roughly. While I was calculating how to make Ye Yuyan lose face for the second time, a fair-skinned arm suddenly blocked right before my eyes, tightly holding Ye Yuyan's hand. "Let go!" This voice sounded very familiar. It seemed like I had heard it right when I was reborn. I saw the person who just arrived was Ye Qingran. You also want to stand up for Gu Wu?" Ye Yuyan wanted to fling Ye Qingran's hand off, but Ye Qingran stood completely still. Without needing to expend any effort at all, she made it impossible for Ye Yuyan to break free. Seeing that she couldn't even fling Ye Qingran off, Ye Yuyan's face darkened gloomily. She glanced over and saw Han Tianhao sitting on a chair not far away. Ye Yuyan naturally couldn't bear looking so pathetic in front of the man she liked. Ye Qingran was caught off guard, and sure enough, she lost her footing and bumped into the desk behind. I immediately turned toward the door and shouted loudly, "Teacher Ye Yuyan is hitting someone. Gu Wu, shut your mouth." Ye Yuyan's face was extremely ugly, but it was all too late. The homeroom teacher heard the noise and walked over. Seeing Ye Qingran clutching her stomach with a pale face while Ye Yuyan was still pointing at my nose with a face full of anger, the homeroom teacher couldn't tolerate it anymore. "Ye Yuyan, how many times a day do you have to cause trouble to be satisfied? After school today, have your parents come here." Very soon after Ye Yuyan was taken away by the homeroom teacher, I turned my head to look at the pale Ye Qingran. "I'll take you to the infirmary." Without waiting for Ye Qingran to agree, I picked her up in a princess carry. Ye Qingran was stunned, looking at my profile a bit dazedly. This action quickly caused the surrounding classmates to erupt into gossip. Seeing everyone making a fuss, Ye Qingran furrowed her brows, and her gaze turned cold, making the whole class shudder. Not a single person dared to make any more noise. Ye Qingran didn't make me carry her anymore either. She grabbed my wrist and walked toward the outside of the classroom. staring intently at the hand. Ye Qingren was holding me with was dazed. I clearly saw that the tips of Ye Qingren's ears had turned red. Thinking back to when I was just reborn, it seemed like I was pulled up from underwater by someone, who even performed CPR on me. I blurted out involuntarily, "Ye Qingren that day?" The person who performed CPR on me at the pool was you. The moment the words left my mouth, I startled myself. Ye Qingren seemed even more like she got an electric shock, pulling back her hand that was holding me. "Sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't say you meant to. I just wanted to thank you, Ye Qing." Ran said nothing and walked straight toward the infirmary. Inside the infirmary, the doctor glanced at Ye Qingren's injury. "It's nothing serious. Just apply some safflower oil and it'll be fine. A bottle is 80 RMB, just go directly to pay the fee." Hearing this, Ye Qingren pursed her lips. "No need." After saying that, she turned around and left the infirmary. I hurriedly chased after Ye Qingren. Ye Qingren had no intention of waiting for me. While I was hurriedly chasing after her, my foot slipped. Seeing that I was about to fall, Ye Qingren suddenly reached out and held my arm tight. "Did you hurt yourself from the fall anywhere?" I shook my head, then took out from my pocket a bottle of safflower oil. Shoving the bottle of safflower oil into Ye Qingren's hand, "I see your injury isn't severe. Lately, I've been applying this frequently. You can try using it, the smell isn't strong. Lately, I've been using this frequently. Just give it a try." Looking at the red oil bottle in her hand, Ye Qingren remained silent for a long time. I knew very well that Ye Qingren is an illegitimate child in the Ye family. She was frequently bullied by Mother Ye and Ye Yuyan. Right now, the Ye family is in trouble, so Mother Ye would be even more unlikely to give Ye Qingren any money. Ye Qingren handed the red oil bottle back to me. "Thank you. But no need." I thought about Ye Qingren's self-esteem, so I said, "This bottle of oil, I'm not giving it to you for free. There's a compensation." Hearing there was compensation, Ye Qingren paused her steps. "I know you're short on spending money at the Ye family, and you also just saved me, so I want to make a deal with you." "What deal?" "You also know that I'm losing weight, right? You help me lose weight, and each month I'll pay you 500 RMB. What do you think?" Hearing this, Ye Qingren knitted her brows. "I'm not worth that much. Of course there has to be results for me to pay." I pulled several red bills out of my pocket and placed them into Ye Qingren's hand along with the bottle. "This is your compensation for this week. And also a thank you gift from me, Gu Wu, to you. Every day during lunch break and the afternoon recess, you wait." Before I could wait for Ye Qingren to agree, the bell for class already rang. I pulled Ye Qingren and walked straight toward the classroom. "Let's go quickly, class is starting." When I returned to the classroom, I saw the teacher hadn't arrived yet, but my desk and chair had been knocked over by someone at some point. Books, my backpack, and the things inside were scattered all over the floor. Seeing this scene, my gaze darkened. Everyone in the class was looking at me and snickering secretly. Who did this? The moment the words left my mouth, not a single soul around made a sound. Jokai spoke up arrogantly. "Who knows? Maybe it was blown over by the wind. Those snitches deserve to be punished." Looking at Jokai's demeanor, I knew instantly it was definitely his doing. Because Jokai always followed Han Tianhao around, I let out a cold laugh, walked straight forward, and forcefully flipped Jokai's desk. Jokai was so scared that he jumped up from his chair. "Gu Wu, are you crazy finally?" I delivered an extra kick, causing Jokai's chair to tumble over. Amidst Jokai's screams, I gave him a glare. "Shut your mouth, I'm warning. You guys, if you don't want to have your parents called over, one by one, don't you dare touch the things in my desk." "Gu Wu, I'm not someone who's easily bullied." Han Tianhao stood up abruptly, acting as if he was standing on the moral high ground. "Gu Wu, you're being too much. After all, everyone is classmates. How can you bully a classmate like that?" "Shut your mouth. You committed a fault by puppy-loving yourself, yet you pretend to look pitiful, so your friends have it to stand up for you. If I report today's matter to the teacher, they will get disciplined because of you. Is that how you act as a friend?" Han Tianhao's face instantly turned ugly. This moral kidnapping of mine directly nailed him to the pillar of shame. Seeing Han Tianhao speechless, Jokai stood out once again, blocking in front of him to face Gu. "Stop talking nonsense. It's just that we found you eyesore. And it has nothing to do with Tianhao." "Oh, really? So you admit you flipped my desk? If you dare to flip my desk today, then tomorrow you'll dare to assault me. I think not only do I need to report this to the teacher, but I also need to call the police." Hearing that I intended to call the police, Jokai's face instantly turned pale. "Call the police." Hearing that I intended to call the police, Jokai's face instantly turned pale. Seeing me about to walk out, he stepped forward and grabbed my arm tightly. "Gu Wu, freeze right there, outside the door." The literature teacher had already walked in, happening to see Jokai dragging me. I intentionally relaxed my body. This tug and pull from Jokai, dragged me down, causing me to tumble onto the knocked-over desk next to me. The literature teacher saw me fall and hurriedly stepped forward to help me up. Goo woo. Are you okay? I turned pale and shook my head. Teacher, I'm okay. What on earth is going on? Why is the classroom a total mess? Jokai's group stood to one side, their entire bodies freezing up. They didn't dare to speak up, only able to tensely stare at my response. I glanced at Jokai's group, knowing that my goal had been achieved. During recess, we had a small misunderstanding. But we've already made up, right? Hearing that I actually didn't expose them, Jokai's group was stunned. The literature teacher clearly didn't believe it, but she still helped me stand up. Well, it's good that the small misunderstanding is resolved. Don't let me find out anyone is intentionally retaliating. Having said that, the literature teacher actually looked toward Han Tianhao. The matter of Han Tianhao and Ye Yuyan puppy-loving had already spread like wildfire in the teacher's office long ago. That look from the literature teacher made Han Tianhao feel extremely uncomfortable in his heart. After school, Han Tianhao actively sought me out when I was about to go for a jog. He put on a guilty look and threw his arm over my shoulder. Gu Wu Wen. Jokai's group bullied you. I already tried to dissuade them, but I couldn't stop them. Sorry about that. You weren't injured just now, right? I gave him a cold look. Does this matter have nothing to do with you? After saying that I was about to leave, Han Tianhao hurriedly ran to block in front of me. Gu Wu, I've already apologized, so just forgive me. He ran over in panic to block in front of me. Gu Wu, I've already apologized, so just forgive me. We are best friends after all. I know it's because Yuyan confessed to me that you're unhappy, which is why you went to snitch to the teacher. But feelings can't be forced. Han Tianhao's voice was intentionally a bit louder, making the surrounding classmates in the hallway hear everything. Looking at the gossiping expressions of everyone around, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. You mean Ye Yuyan? But I don't want her anymore. If you like her, I'll hand her over to you. Leaving that remark behind, I brushed past Han Tianhao's shoulder. He froze for a moment. What does he mean he doesn't want her anymore? At this moment, Ye Yuyan walked out of the office downcast. She had been punished by the homeroom teacher to stand for an entire class period, and on top of that, her conduct points were even deducted. Gu Wu, an angry roar from Ye Yuyan made me stop my steps. I only saw Ye Yuyan firmly linking her arm with Han Tianhao's. I turned back to glance at Han Tianhao secretly laughing, coldly in my heart. In my past life, Ye Yuyan loved Han Tianhao deeply for many years, which was simply because she couldn't have him during her youth. The things one can't obtain in their youth often make people obsessed for a lifetime. But once obtained during youth, things might not necessarily turn out perfectly, especially when the Yi family is about to go bankrupt, while Han Tianhao is merely the son of a driver. What the two of them have to face in the future is far from simple. Eyes from Han Tianhao. Their ending can already be foreseen. I didn't bother to care and turned around to leave. After the final class period of the afternoon ended, I went to the door of Class F to wait for Ye Qingren. And at the same time, I also saw Mother Ye, who was fuming with rage, rushing straight to the school. There were a lot of people crowding around to watch the drama outside the office. Even though it was at the door of Class F, the image of Mother Yi angrily rushing to school. A lot of people were crowding around outside the office. Even when standing in front of that classroom door, I could still hear the sound of crisp, loud slaps echoing from inside the office. Mother Yi's sharp voice reached everyone's ears. Ye Yuyan, have you no shame? I still care about my face. Who allowed you to get into a puppy love, huh? Ye Yuyan is currently the only hope of the Ye family. If Ye Yuyan's puppy love affects her studies, then the Ye family is truly finished. Especially at this time, aside from the Gu family. Who else can help them now, the Yi family at this moment? Ye Qingren's cold voice reached my ears. Gu Wu. The moment I turned my head, I saw Ye Qingren standing in front of me. Let's go, we're going to the pool. With your current physical condition, the weight loss efficiency from running is not very high, and it's also easy to cause knee injuries. Swimming will suit you better? Then come to my house. My house has a pool. I suddenly extended this invitation, making Ye Qingren freeze on the spot. Don't worry, I'll pay for the cab. I shoved 50 RMB into Ye Qingren's hand. Ye Qingren looked at the 50 RMB in her hand, said nothing, and shoved it right back to me. I already said, since I promised to help you lose weight, I won't take extra money from you. Seeing this, I didn't force her either. The two of us, one after the other, walked to the school gate. A luxury car suddenly appeared in front of Ye Qingren and me. The driver proactively opened the car door for Ye Qingren. Ye Qingren got into the car a bit timidly, and I followed closely behind. Looking at Ye Qingren's uneasy expression, I smiled and said, don't be nervous. My parents are very kind, they only hate Ye Yuyan. Ye Qingren said nothing. Soon enough, the car arrived at the Gu family villa. Just as Ye Kingren and I walked into the door, the aroma of food in the house already wafted from the hallway. I spoke up and suggested, let's eat first, that way we'll have energy to work out. No need. My mom's voice interrupted Ye Kingren's rehearsed rejection. Shall we change your shoes quickly and come inside to eat, son? By the time Mom walked out to the porch, she finally saw Ye Kingren standing next to me. Kingren. My dad also came down from the second floor. Seeing Ye Kingren coming back with me, he couldn't help but wonder. Didn't his son hate Ye Kingren a lot before? Why are they so close with Ye Kingren now? Mom, Dad, Ye Kingren came to help me lose weight. From now on, please prepare an extra set of chopsticks. Every evening. I spoke in a casual, familiar tone, not giving Ye Kingren a chance to refuse. Mom and Dad looked at each other. Although they said they disliked the Ye family, the two of them still politely told Ye Kingren to change her shoes and come inside to eat. On the table, in the living room, 6 savory dishes and a soup were laid out. Since I was losing weight, I could only eat some peeled shrimp and broccoli. Mom looked at Ye Kingren's skinny figure, felt sorry for her, and scooped more rice for her, telling her to take her time eating. If it's not enough, there's still more, dear. Thank you, Auntie Gu. Ye Kingren ate every single grain of rice in her bowl and then quietly intended to go wash the dishes. Seeing this, I immediately put down the chopsticks in my hand and called out to Nanny Wu, who was in the kitchen. Nanny Wu, please wash the dishes. Nanny Wu stepped forward and took the bowl and chopsticks from Ye Kingren's hands. Second miss of the Yi family, you can just leave it to me. Ye Kingren opened her mouth to speak, but before the words could leave her mouth, I pulled Ye Kingren away. Let's go to the backyard pool. Looking at the massive pool that looked like the school swimming arena, Ye Kingren couldn't help but be a bit dazed. By this time, I had already changed into my swimwear and walked out. Ye Kingren handed me a weight loss plan. This is for you. During recess, she had based it on my physical condition to make a detailed plan. I'm a bit surprised you finished this so quickly. I looked at the extremely detailed weight loss plan in my hand, in which even what I had to eat every day, how much water I had to drink every day, and how much to exercise were all clearly written down. Yeah, Kingren said seriously, weight loss cannot rely solely on starving. You ate too little tonight. Normally eat more cucumbers and cherry tomatoes. A bit of things like winter melon, you can eat them all. But you shouldn't eat too full every day. In the initial phase, every night you must go to sleep with a slightly empty stomach. I nodded half understandingly. Seeing my not-so-understanding look, Ye Kingren fell silent for a moment, then said again, I will supervise you every day, so you don't need to understand it too thoroughly. Hearing this, I nodded. My parents poked their heads out to look, seeing Ye Kingren on the shore supervising my swimming throughout the whole process. The two kids barely spoke to each other. Mom was a bit puzzled. What's this about? Did he really come just to work out? Dad didn't get it either. How can that be? Don't tell me our Xiao Wu has had a change of heart and no longer likes Ye Yuyan, but likes Ye Kingren instead. The husband and wife chiming in with each other attracted my and Ye Kingren's attention. I poked my head out of the pool. Mom, Dad, what are you two doing? Hearing my voice, Dad and Mom hurriedly came out from the corner. Dad prepared some fruit for you guys. Later, when you're tired from swimming, you can eat. That's right. That's right. If you guys find just swimming too boring, then go to the gym room on the second floor. There's a lot of equipment in there. Dad and Mom smiled awkwardly. I could tell with one glance, my parents were overthinking things again. I climbed up from the pool, took the fruit plate from Mom's hand. Thanks, love you, Mom. You two go back to your room quickly, stop watching, I said while pushing my parents away. Then I looked at Ye Kingren. Shall we continue? I pretended like nothing happened and continued to swim, but actually felt a bit embarrassed in my heart. Sure enough, when I poked my head up from the water's surface, I happened to catch Ye Kingren's deep gaze. I let out 2 awkward laughs. Eat fruit, then buried my head back into the water. Ye Kingren said nothing. Only the tips of her ears stayed red. For 7 consecutive days, Ye Kingren and I left school together to go home, but barely anyone noticed, because all the attention of the students in school was focused on Ye Yuyan and Han Tianhao. After that day, their parents were called. Ye Yuyan fell out with her family because of Han Tianhao, even declaring she would give up the Yi family's inheritance, almost making Mother Yi so angry that she was hospitalized. The teachers in school, regarding Ye Yuyan and Han Tianhao, could also only throw their hands up. That day, just as we arrived at school, suddenly a student burst straight inside, shouting in a panic, "This is bad. Something big happened." When I heard that statement, the first person I thought of was the English teacher. 7 days had already passed, so the problem must have clearly started to show. The other students didn't know what had happened, but because they wanted to watch the drama, everyone crowded and ran toward the office in the lecture building. Inside, the piercing voice of the English teacher rang out, "Mr. Wang, today you absolutely must give me an explanation." The dean was also very helpless. He didn't know what had happened either, and could only tell a student to call Han Tianhao over first. When Han Tianhao was called into the office, the sharp gaze of the English teacher immediately swept straight toward him. Han Tianhao, come over here. She dragged Han Tianhao in front of the dean, questioning, what on earth did you put into the chocolates? The English teacher originally had a slender figure, but within just one short week, her body had clearly bloated up to the naked eye. Han Tianhao's face was completely drained of color. I don't know. I didn't. Looking at Han Tianhao's terrified look, the dean immediately defended his student. Teacher, you gained weight. Why are you putting the blame on my student? My student wouldn't secretly drug you to harm you, right? These past few days I've been losing weight. Aside from eating that box of chocolates every day, I only drank tea. How could I gain a whole 7.5 kilograms? In 1 week I already took the chocolates for a test. The results show that someone secretly added hormones inside. Han Tianhao, you've got some nerve. The students outside the door gasped. Why would anyone add hormones? This is too terrifying. Tianhao is so kind. How could he drug the English teacher? This was the first time the students had heard such shocking gossip. The dean's face also darkened because of this. He looked at the conclusion, written on the test sheet, then slammed it hard right before Han Tianhao. Han Tianhao! Is this matter true? This was done by you, wasn't it? Han Tianhao's face turned completely pale. He never expected a box of chocolates would cause the matter to become serious to this extent. No, it wasn't me. I didn't. You still want to deny it. Knowing how to drug and harm people at such a young age, what will you become when you grow up? I will call and tell your parents to come here. This matter absolutely must have a clear explanation. The English teacher dragged Han Tianhao to the phone right at this moment. Ye Yuyan stood out. The drug in the chocolates was put in by me. It has nothing to do with Han Tianhao at all. Anyone could tell. Ye Yuyan was taking the blame for Han Tianhao. Ye Yuyan stepped forward and forcefully pulled Han Tianhao back. I'm the one who put the drug in. If you want to call parents, just call my family. That afternoon, Ye Yuyan's parents were called over. Mother Yi heard that her daughter actually went to shoulder the blame for Han Tianhao's mistake, so her impression of Han Tianhao instantly became a few degrees worse. But the matter didn't just end there. The English teacher resolutely called the police and at the same time wanted to issue disciplinary action against Ye Yuyan. Under Mother Ye's desperate pleading, not only did they have to pay 200 million as compensation, but it also caused Ye Yuyan to receive a disciplinary mark. That day my mood was extremely good, and even my exercising was much more enthusiastic. More than 10 days after my rebirth, I had already lost 10 pounds. Though the further it goes, the more difficult losing weight will become. But anyway, it's already a good start. Seeing that the final exams were drawing near, all the students were studying hard, every day aside from practicing. Test papers, it was just burying themselves in memorization. In the library, I was engrossed in reading a book, when suddenly the chair opposite me was forcefully kicked by someone. I knit my brows, looked up, and sure enough saw Ye Yuyan. I was extremely impatient. What do you want to do? The chocolate matter last time was your doing, wasn't it? On what grounds do you say I did it? That box of chocolates aside from Tianhao, only you touched it. You already touched it, and you still claim it wasn't you. Then why don't you suspect Han Tianhao, but instead suspect me? Ye Yuyan had a disdainful look. Tianhao is kind, whereas you did it intentionally. Why didn't I realize before that you were this wicked? I closed my book with a calm expression, acting as if nothing happened. If you actually have a brain, go investigate it yourself. If you find concrete evidence that I did it, then feel free to go report me. But if you don't have evidence, don't play the hero saving the beauty in front of me anymore. Utterly foolish, beyond words. Ye Yuyan was provoked by my words, and she instantly slammed the table and stood right up, intending to lay a hand on me. The next second, Ye Yuyan's arm was held tightly by someone. This is the library, not a place for you to arbitrarily cause trouble. What the hell are you? Beat it. Ye Yuyan wanted to fling Ye Qingren's hand off. She tried several times in a row, but still couldn't fling it off at all. The responsibility of a library monitor is precisely to maintain order in the library. Do you need me to ring the alarm? No. Ye Yuyan darted a glance at Ye Qingren, then looked back over at Gu Wu. What's this, you two are actually together now? Gu Wu, before this you shamelessly pursued me, but now you've suddenly turned around to be by Ye Qingren's side. The moment Ye Yuyan finished her sentence, I feared the matter would blow up, so I immediately stood up. Qingren? I feared the matter would blow up, so I immediately stood up. Qingren? Don't make a move. After hearing me speak, Ye Qingren regained her composure. She coldly looked at Ye Yuyan on the floor. Keep your mouth shut. If there's a next time, I will definitely rip it apart. Ye Yu. Yan never expected Ye Qingren would dare to make a move on her. In an instant, her anger flared up violently. Just as Ye Yuyan was about to strike back, I blocked in front of Ye Qingren. Ye Yuyan, you were the one hurling insults first. Getting hit serves you right. If you fight back, you'll be the one in the wrong. Don't tell me you want to receive another disciplinary mark. A disciplinary mark is just a mark. Like I care, but don't forget, if you get disciplined again, you'll be expelled by the school. If you're gone, what will Han Tianhao do? Hearing Han Tianhao's name, Ye Yuyan's hand, which was about to swing forward, instantly froze. I knew I had grabbed Ye Yuyan's weakness, so I pulled Ye Qingren's hand and left, helping me change to another spot to study. This time, Ye Yuyan didn't step forward again. Seeing that Ye Yuyan had left, I casually found a seat and sat down. How unlucky, truly unlucky. I'll get back to work. Ye Qingren's tone was very nonchalant. For some reason, I felt that Ye Qingren was a bit unhappy. I stepped forward to comfort her. Just now, Ye Yuyan was just talking nonsense. She has a dark mind herself, so don't take it to heart. I'm used to it. Are you a library monitor? Yeah. Why didn't I hear you mention it before? I looked at Ye Qingren organizing the books, then quietly followed behind. You're academic. Performance is so good. You should have been in Class A. Did you forget about the fight last time? Ye Qingren didn't seem to want to say much. I stood by her side and gave an awkward laugh, so as not to make Qingren didn't seem to want to say much. I stood by her side and gave an awkward laugh, so as not to make the atmosphere between the two of us too awkward. Looking at Ye Qingren working hard to organize the piles of books and thinking about her difficult life in the Yi family, I thought for a moment and then spoke up. Ye Qingren, I know you're great at studying. Can you do me a favor? I'm currently looking for someone to tutor me. Could you tutor me every evening from now on? I'll pay you a tutoring fee of 100 RMB per session. What do you think? Ye Qingren glanced up at me. Every time there's an exam, your grades are always in the top 10 of the entire grade. There's no need for tutoring. Lately, I've been a bit careless, and my test answers are a complete mess, let alone the top 10 of the grade. I can't even make it into the top 100. Don't worry, as long as I pass this final exam, I will pay you 1,000 RMB as a reward. Please help me out. Seeing that I didn't look like I was lying, Ye Qingren hesitated for a moment. I continued, if you find it troublesome, helping me tutor on Saturdays and Sundays later on works too. Got it. Finally, Ye Qingren agreed. A look of joy instantly appeared on my face. It's a deal then. With a top student like Ye Qingren helping out, the upcoming final exams will definitely be fine. Just as I was about to turn back to bury my head in studying again, Ye Qingren suddenly coughed violently. Only then did I notice that her complexion wasn't very good. Because of the violent coughing, her face and neck were all flushed red. Ye Qingren. I intended to reach my hand out to feel Ye Qingren's forehead, but she instinctively brushed my hand away. No need. In another corner of the library, Lin Nguyen hurriedly ran over. Ye Qingren, I told you to stand. Still right there and wait for me to fetch the medicine, so why did you run around? All over fetching medicine is something wrong with Ye Qingren. What else could it be? She has a fever, of course. Ye Yuyan's mom is truly malicious. Isn't it just that Ye Qingren has only been turning home a few hours late these past few days, yet she actually locked her outside all night? It'd be a miracle if she didn't get a fever after several days of that. Trin Nui! Ye Qingren's sudden shout made Trin Nui obediently shut her mouth. I was stunned for a moment. In order to help me lose weight, Ye Qingren always was busy until 8 or 9 p.m. before returning home. The Gu family and the Ye family are 2 kilometers apart, and she insisted on walking back by herself every single time, refusing to let the Gu family's car drive her back. I didn't expect Mother Yi to be so heartless, not even letting Ye Qingren enter the house door. Guwu, oh Kuwu, you are an absolute idiot! Why didn't you take this matter into account? Aren't I just speaking the truth? What are you mad about, Trin? Nui, while handing the medicine to Ye Qingren, shifted her gaze back and forth between Ye Qingren and me, realizing the atmosphere between the two of us was somewhat unusual. I'll go get some water for you. You two can take your time to talk, Trin. Nui, after saying that line, ran away instantly. Looking at Ye Qingren's pale face, I asked worriedly, the Yi family treats you like this. Why didn't you tell me? This matter has nothing to do with you. How can it have nothing to do with me if I hadn't kept you back to help me lose weight? You wouldn't have been locked out of the house by Auntie Ye. This was my voluntary choice. Furthermore, you've already paid the compensation. In short, my business has nothing to do with you, and there's no need for you to look after it. After saying that, she turned her back and walked away. Looking at Ye Qingren's retreating figure, a surge of guilt welled up in my heart. I thought, paying to hire Ye Qingren to help me lose weight could not only improve my relationship with her, but also help her cover her living expenses. But I never expected it would cause her so much extra trouble. At dusk, I returned home. Seeing that I returned alone, my mom, who had prepared 5 sets of bowls and chopsticks, suddenly froze. Xiaowu, why are you all by yourself? Where's Qingren? Is she sick? Sick? What's going on? Is it because she worked out with you that she's too tired? These past few days she has always been helping me with tutoring and going home very late. So Auntie Yi locked her outside the door, which is why she got a fever. The moment I finished my sentence, my dad also walked out from the living room. Mom, Dad, I want to ask you two to do me a favor. Hearing that my parents looked at each other, the sky gradually turned completely dark. Ye Qingren dragged her heavy body along, walking up to the front gate of the Yi family home, just happening to cross paths with Ye Yuyan, who was sitting in a luxury car, along with Mother Ye. Mrs. Ye had clearly just brought Ye Yuyan back from the hospital. On Ye Yuyan's face, the injuries from earlier during the day were still clearly visible. Mom, it was Ye Qingren who beat me up. Mother Ye glared at Ye Qingren. Very well, Ye Qingren. I kindly raised you only for you to beat up my daughter, huh? How can you be so vicious? You truly are an ungrateful white-eyed wolf. As Mother Yi spoke, she rushed over and pinched Ye Qingren's arm forcefully. You beat up my daughter and still dare to show your face back here. Come with me to the police station. This matter isn't over with me yet. Ye Qingren knit her brows slightly. She used force to fling Mother Ye's hand off, but ended up being slapped by her instead. Rebellious, you still dare to fight back, huh? One side of Ye Qingren's face was scratched open by Mother Ye's fingernails, several blood marks showing through clearly. Right at this moment, car headlights shone straight at the three of them. Seeing my parents and me step down from the car, immediately after 2 more cars pulled over right beside. The bodyguards and lawyers of the Gu family all stepped down. Mrs. Ye had never seen such a scene before, and for a moment she was a bit dazed. Brother Gu, sister Gu, you too. My mom ran in front of Ye Qingren, helping the young girl stand up. Don't call me looking at the blood marks on Ye Qingren's face. My mom spoke out in fury. Mrs. Ye, you hit her way too. Ruthlessly. Mrs. Ye couldn't even smile anymore. Brother Gu, sister Gu, it's because this child at school dared to lay a hand on Yuyan. I just got too angry, so I taught her a lesson. A few times, my mom glared at Mother Ye. Just got too angry, so you taught her a lesson a few times. Before this, you locked Qingren outside the door, making her suffer the cold all night. Was that also just getting too angry, so you taught her a lesson a few times? I see you're no longer suitable to continue. Raising Qing. Ran any more, hand Qingren over for us to raise. But what? Before Mother Yi could react, the lawyer stepped forward and handed the stack of documents in his hand to Mother Yi. Mrs. Yi, your abusive actions have violated the law. If you don't want us to file a lawsuit, I advise you to best obediently hand the person over to us. Mother Ye was stunned. Mom, if they want to raise her, just give her to them. It'll save our family's rice and food. Mother Yi looked at the stack of documents in front of her, but she wasn't as brain-dead as Ye Yuyan. Letting you guys raise this child, what benefit do I get out of it? She is, after all, my husband's illegitimate seed. I can't just suddenly, for no reason at all, give her away to you guys. Hearing Mother Ye's words, I couldn't help but let out a cold laugh. Mother Yi is exactly this kind of person. Before doing anything, she never forgets to milk it for all it's worth. Seeing that my dad was about to open his mouth to promise her some benefits, Auntie Yi, the matter of you abusing Ye Qingren, if it gets out in the high society, it will only bring harm and zero benefit to the Yi family and you. We are helping you, yet you turn around and demand benefits from us. We don't have any benefits. How about we just proceed directly through the legal process if we make it a big deal at the police station with your abusive actions? Auntie Ye, I'm afraid you'll have to go to jail. By that time, our Gu family can still adopt Ye Qingren as usual. Hearing my words, Mother Ye's face paled a few degrees. Mom, just sign it. I don't want to see her anymore anyway. Mother Ye also thought the same. But thinking about having to give a person away for free to another family, without being able to milk any benefits, she felt unwilling in her heart. Looking at Mother Ye's hesitant and indecisive look, I immediately spoke up. Mom, Dad, stop playing the good guys here. We're helping her out of consideration for old ties. But it's her who doesn't want it. Then we'll just go straight to the police station. No need to waste time here. Seeing me actually turn around intending to get into the car, Mother Yi instantly panicked. I'll sign! Mother Yi hurriedly grabbed the pen. Before she could even clearly read the content on the document, she had already signed her name on it. Standing not far away, seeing this scene, I slightly curled my lips. Take the person away. But please don't call the police. My mom couldn't be bothered to pay attention to her. She supported Ye Qingren into the car. I saw that Ye Qingren had a very high fever and was just slapped by Mother Yi. She was now almost in a coma. I was a bit worried. Mom, Ye Qingren's fever is too high. How about we just take her to the hospital first?
We have to go to the hospital.
Little Lee, hurry up and drive to the hospital. Little Lee, hurry up and drive to the hospital. In the hospital room late at night, Dad and Mom went to do the admission procedures first. I stayed by Ye Qingren's hospital bed. Ye Qingren's fever had reached 39 degrees. That slap wasn't light at all. Her face was not only beaten red and swollen, but also had 3 blood marks imprinted on it. After the doctor did a simple treatment, half of her face finally looked slightly better. In her delirium, Ye Qingren, she suddenly grabbed a hand with clear knuckles. This hand was cool and soothing, as if dispelling the heat in her body. Suddenly, Ye Qingren forced her eyes open. I was startled by her sudden awakening. "You're awake." Seeing that Ye Qingren said nothing, I reached out to touch her forehead and felt it was still hot. "Your fever is very high. You're at the hospital now. My parents just went to do the admission procedures for you. Tomorrow morning we can go home." Hearing the words "go home," Ye Qingren's eyes darkened. I continued, "Go to my house. From now on you don't need to go back to the Yi family anymore." Ye Qingren stared at me in a daze. Clearly she was currently so out of it from the fever that her consciousness was completely clouded. Regarding what just happened outside the Yi family's gate, she basically had no impression of it at all. At this moment, my parents walked into the hospital room. Seeing that Ye Qingren had woken up, my mom stepped forward and spoke gently. "Qingren, just rest well in the hospital with a peace of mind. Early tomorrow morning, Auntie and Uncle Gu will pick you up to go home. As for the school, Auntie has already requested a leave of absence for you. Wait until you're fully recovered before returning to school." The rims of Ye Qingren's eyes turned red. "Thank you, Auntie. It's fine. From now on, we are a family." My mom patted Ye Qingren's head. "Mom, Dad, you two should go back first. It's enough to have me here. Tomorrow morning, I can just head straight to school on the way." Mom darted a glance at me, then looked at the weak Ye Qingren. Perhaps she also felt that leaving Ye Qingren alone in the hospital room wasn't quite right, so she agreed. Dad was a bit worried. "How about Dad tells driver Lee to stay and watch over her with you?" "No, there's no need, Dad. It's just for one night, anyway. Tomorrow morning, remember to tell Uncle Lee to come pick us up." Seeing how resolute I was, my dad could only agree. Waiting until my parents left, I immediately comforted Ye Qingren, who was lying on the hospital bed. "Get some rest early. From now on, you don't need to work part-time jobs so hard anymore, nor do you have to suffer from having no dinner to eat, and even less worry about being kicked out of the house. Starting from today, we are your family." Hearing my gentle voice, Ye Qingren's lips pursed tightly. A good night's sleep passed. Early next morning, Dad had already told the driver to pick Ye Qingren up and take her home. The city central hospital wasn't far from Lingshan High School, so I simply walked to school. As luck would have it, today Ye Yuyan told the Ye family's driver to pick up Han Tianhao along the way. The scene of the two of them holding hands happened to catch my eye. I originally intended to pretend like I didn't see them, but Han Tianhao proactively spoke up. "Gu Wu, why are you walking to school today?" Han Tianhao held Ye Yuyan's hand as if intentionally. Han Tianhao held Ye Yuyan's hand and walked up in front of me as if intentionally showing off. "Gu Wu, I think it's exhausting for you to walk to school. Anyway, the place you live probably isn't far. In the future, Yuyan can pick us up on the way so we can go to school together." "No need. My house and Ye Yuyan's house aren't on the same route." I didn't care to pay attention to the two of them. Just as I was about to leave, I was called back by Ye Yuyan. "Gu Wu Tianhao has good intentions." "What kind of attitude is that? He has good intentions. But I don't accept his kindness." "All right." I walked straight past the two of them. The extremely aggrieved voice of Han Tianhao rang out. "I only had good intentions. Did Xiao Wu misunderstand me? How about I go explain it clearly to her?" "There's no need to explain to anyone. Tianhao, you are truly far too kind." Hearing the dialogue between Ye Yuyan and Han Tianhao, I only felt nauseous to the extreme. In the end, I stopped my steps, turned back, and stood right in front of the two of them. Under everyone's gaze, I took a water bottle out of my backpack and splashed the water inside straight onto Han Tianhao. Seeing Han Tianhao being bullied, Ye Yuyan instantly roared in fury, "Gu Wu, what the hell are you doing? Now you don't need to feel guilty anymore." After saying that, I turned around and left. Ye Yuyan originally intended to make a move, but the school gate security guard happened to come out. I made a move at the school gate, but the school gate security guard happened to come out. The matter of me splashing water on Han Tianhao at the school gate instantly became a hot topic of gossip. In school, and even the eyes of the classmates looking at me had a few extra hints of strangeness. There were only 3 days left until the final exams. The atmosphere in the classroom during lunch break was extremely tense. Ever since Ye Qingren came to live at the Gu family home, her spirit had become much better. Even her monthly exam results were astonishingly excellent. Before this, although Ye Qingren was already in the top 5 of the entire grade, now she sat firmly in the #1 spot. Under Ye Qingren's guidance, my grades also stabilized within the top 10 of the grade. In the classroom, people were constantly whispering and gossiping about the Yi family. The Yi family is about to go bankrupt. This news could no longer be hidden. Have you guys heard? The Ye family is about to go bankrupt. What nonsense are you talking? How could the Ye family go bankrupt? The Ye family is a tycoon in our Lamthan city. It's true, I heard my dad say that even before Ye Yuyan's dad passed away, he owed quite a lot of debt outside. The Ye family has been struggling even more in business. In fact, they ran out of money a long time ago. At this moment, Han Tianhao just entered the classroom. Seeing Han Tianhao enter the room, Chukai immediately stepped forward to get the tea. Tianhao, the family of the Yi family's young mistress is about to go bankrupt. Did you know bankrupt? Stop joking. Yuyan just took me to look at cars at the showroom. Just now. She said next year, when I turn 18, she'll gift me a Mercedes. If they're about to go bankrupt, could she casually gift me a car like that? I told you so, the Ye family's assets are so huge, how could they go bankrupt? That's for sure. The surrounding people again showed admiring eyes, staring intently at Han Tianhao. The moment they heard that Ye Yan intended to buy a car for Han Tianhao, they gathered around to flatter him. I felt that my ears couldn't get any peace, so I grabbed my exam prep book and walked out of this classroom door. Guwu has been dropped off and picked up by cars lately. Don't know where she got so much money, she keeps switching between different luxury cars all the time. Isn't she a poor student? Could it be that her family is actually very rich? Or are the cars rented? No way, if she isn't a poor student, then who is the poor student of our grade? Hearing the others gossiping, Han Tianhao feared everyone would suspect him. He then pretended to be calm and spoke up. I heard that Guwu's dad is a driver for some wealthy family. Lately, his dad's boss is away on a business trip, so she has a luxury car to pick her up and drop her off. So that's how it is. I told you so. Guwu used to walk to school all the time. How could she suddenly have a luxury car picking her up? Turns out it's her dad, using his boss's car to pick up his child. And here I thought Guwu was some big-shot character. Turns out it's all fake. Looking at the other classmates showing disdain toward her, Han Tianhao was a bit panicked. I can't let others know. Showing disdain, Han Tianhao was a bit panicked. I can't let others know that I'm the only poor student in the 11th grade. Otherwise, the entire image I painstakingly built up at school will completely vanish into thin air. At the reading corner upstairs, I was focusing on solving exam questions. Suddenly, a carton of milk appeared before my eyes. I raised my head and realized the person who came was Ye Qingren. What's this? Your mom told me to give it to you. I naturally took the milk carton. When did my mom give it to you? How come I didn't know? Ever since Ye Qingren came to live at my house, every day she went to school and returned home together with me. I clearly remembered that. Today, Ye Qingren and I left the door together. How could mom possibly ask Ye Qingren to give milk to me? Very quickly, I guessed that this was milk. Ye Qingren used her own saved money to buy. At noon, I hadn't eaten anything, and right now my stomach was growling from hunger. I looked at this milk carton with a bit of hesitation. I'm currently trying to lose weight, you know. Drinking milk at lunchtime isn't very good, is it? Skim milk is fine to drink. Hearing that I couldn't wait any longer and shoved the straw straight into the milk carton. That sweet and fragrant milk flavor left me extremely satisfied. Qingren, your grades are so excellent. Why did you drop down to the lower class before if you were in class A? We could have studied together. During every break, Ye Qingren went quiet for a moment before speaking up. Do you want me to enter class A? Drinking the milk? I nodded, my head. Of course. Ye Qingren didn't say anything. Seeing her silence, I thought she didn't want to return to class A to face Ye Yuyan. I was just saying it casually. If you don't want to go back to class A, then forget it. I'll try my best. My eyes suddenly went wide. I'll try my best to find a way to return to class A. Really? Really? Before I even had time to celebrate, the bell marking the end of the lunch break rang out. Ye Qingren packed up the books in front of me, smiled, and said, Class is starting. Go back to the classroom and continue your homework. I nodded. When returning to the classroom, I saw Han Tianhao flexing to the other classmates again about what expensive gift Ye Yuyan had bought for him. When Han Tianhao's gaze locked onto me, a clear trace of provocation flashed in his eyes. I didn't even care to pay attention. The more smug Han Tianhao is right now, the more he will regret it later on. Normally you can't tell, but just wait until the term exams. Han Tianhao will realize how many lessons he has missed. In the blink of an eye, the term exams arrived 3 days later. Based on the results of the previous monthly exam, Ye Qingren, Ye Yuyan, and Han Tianhao were all assigned to the same exam room. This exam was a bit harder than the previous monthly exam. I took the test very easily, finishing the paper 20 minutes early while Han Tianhao didn't have such a great state. After finishing the exam, I saw Han Tianhao's face turn dead pale. Before this, Han Tianhao was the heart throb of the class, and his grades were excellent, so surrounding classmates all wanted to be friends with Han Tianhao. At this moment, everyone, as usual, took out their answers to compare with Han Tianhao's. If it were the usual Han Tianhao, he would patiently cross-check the answers with everyone. But this time, Han Tianhao stood up early. I'm not feeling very well. I'm going to the restroom for a bit. Seeing Han Tianhao unwell, Ye Yan worriedly stepped forward to ask about his condition. Seeing that look on Han Tianhao, I knew I had guessed right. For this final exam, I'm afraid Han Tianhao's results aren't going to be very ideal. 3 days later, the final exam results were announced. Ye Qinggren skyrocketed straight to the #1 spot in the entire grade. Under Ye Qinggren's tutoring, I also passed with the 3rd place rank in the entire grade. As for Han Tianhao, who originally held a high rank, he unexpectedly crashed down past the top 50 of the grade. Even Ye Yuyan's rank slid down to the 20th place in the grade. On the podium, the homeroom teacher's gaze locked onto Han Tianhao, and his tone grew a few degrees colder. Han Tianhao, this afternoon. Before going home, tell your parents to make a trip down here. Hearing that, Han Tianhao's face went pale. Teacher, my dad is usually very busy. He probably won't have time to come over. Then what about your mom? Seeing the homeroom teacher mention his mom, Han Tianhao's expression became even more unsightly. Looking at Han Tianhao staying silent and saying nothing. Others didn't know what was going on, but I knew perfectly well. Han Tianhao's dad and mom had divorced long ago. All this time it had been Father Han, all by himself raising and bringing Han Tianhao up. But now in front of his friends and the teacher, Han Tianhao naturally couldn't say the matter of his parents' divorce out loud. Seeing Han Tianhao keeping quiet, the homeroom teacher was a bit helpless. Han Tianhao, your grades have tanked. This much. No matter how busy your parents are, they still have to make a trip to the school this afternoon. After saying that, the homeroom teacher began handing out summer homework, giving Han Tianhao no chance to make excuses. The moment Han Tianhao thought about his driver father being about to arrive at the school, he felt extremely anxious and uneasy in his heart. If everyone in class found out about this matter, his cover would definitely be blown. In the afternoon, the other classmates had already packed up their bags to go home for summer break, but Chukai's squad still stayed behind. Ye Yuyan even closely guarded Han Tianhao's side, which made Han Tianhao incredibly frantic. The time Han Tianhao scheduled his dad to come to school was 12:30. He wanted to wait until Ye Yuyan and the students in the class completely left, so that no one would discover the true identity of his dad later on. But unexpectedly, because Ye Yuyan was worried about him, she insisted on waiting until the homeroom teacher finished reprimanding him before leaving. As for Chukai's squad, they used the exact same excuse, wanting to stay behind to comfort Han Tianhao. It's just that they couldn't possibly guess that right now Han Tianhao didn't need any comfort at all. The only thing he needed was for them to quickly beat it. Otherwise, his monstrous lie wouldn't be able to stay hidden anymore. I intentionally took my sweet time packing up the pile of homework in the desk drawer. Ye Qinggren, seeing only Ye Yuyan's crew out by the door, stepped inside. Ye Qinggren walked over to my side, intending to help me pack my backpack. I held Ye Qinggren's hand back, giving her a quick wink. After living together at the Gu family home for a while, Ye Qinggren quickly understood what I wanted to do. She simply pulled up a chair and sat down right next to me. Didn't you say today you had a question you didn't know how to do? I'll teach you now. I was just worrying about not finding an excuse to stay in class to watch the good drama. Seeing Ye Qinggren give me such a reasonable excuse, I quickly pulled out the exercise book, casually pointing at a question. It's this exact question. Ye Qinggren took the textbook and leisurely examined it while Han Tianhao, sitting not far away, had long been sitting on pins and needles. It's bad enough that Ye Yuyan and Chukai's squad aren't leaving, but why are both Gu Wu and Ye Qinggren staying behind too? Looking at the classroom clock hand already pointing to the number 3, Han Tianhao finally couldn't suppress his emotions anymore and spoke up. Yuyan, Chukai, you guys go home first. It's fine with just me alone. No way. I'll stay here with you. If that old hag from the Li family dares to bully you, I won't let her off easily. That's right, Tianhao. We're all here, so don't be afraid. It's just that your grades slipped. A little bit. Is it really necessary to call the parents? Down, seeing that Chukai's squad refused to leave Han, Tianhao could only persuade Ye Yuyan first. How about you go back first? My dad doesn't support early dating. I'm afraid if my dad sees you later, he'll get mad. All right, then remember to text me after you get home. Han Tianhao nodded. At this moment, he only wished for Ye Yuyan. At this moment, he only wished for Ye Yuyan to quickly leave. Upon leaving Ye Yu, Yan still restlessly urged Chu Kai's squad to take good care of Han Tianhao. Seeing the concern that Ye Yu, Yan showed toward Han Tianhao, the faces of Chu Kai's squad all revealed envy. As for Chu Kai seeing me doing homework up front, with an expression as if I didn't hear a thing, he intentionally spoke out. Miss Ye treats our Tianhao really well, I heard. Miss Yi is already preparing for a marriage proposal. Your Han family Tianhao runs a large enterprise, right? I guess after graduation you two will get engaged right away. I'm not too sure about this matter either. How could you not be sure? Miss Yi loves you so much. She definitely won't have the heart to let you go abroad to study by yourself. Who knows, the Ye family might even come to the Han family to propose marriage first. That's right. Our Tianhao is both handsome and has a great personality. And he's also the young master of the Han family. He's the best match for Miss Yi. Miss Ye, how could she bear to let our Tianhao go abroad to study alone? She will definitely go with you in the future. Looking at everyone's highly expectant expressions, Han Tianhao also seemed to see the vision of himself marrying into a rich family in the future. Hearing these words, I couldn't help but let out a cold laugh in my heart. In the 3rd year after graduating high school, there was a high school reunion. At that time, Han Tianhao had returned from studying abroad and was even together with a foreign sugar mommy. The two of them quickly got engaged. Ye Yuyan was also present there. Hearing the news of Han Tianhao's engagement, Ye Yu, Yan didn't show me any respect at all. At that time, her eyes turned red and she chased after Han Tianhao outside, wanting to talk to him privately. And at that time, I was already Ye Yuyan's husband. This exact action of Ye Yuyan's made me lose all face at the reunion. Later on, the Ye family's business grew larger and larger, and Ye Yu Yan also became a big-shot CEO in Lamthan City. It was also exactly at that time that Han Tianhao's wife failed in business and jumped off a building to commit suicide. Only then did he return to the country to rekindle the old flame with Ye Yuyan. As for Ye Yuyan, in order to smoothly divorce me, she locked me away in a mental hospital. Thinking about the events of the past life, the pencil in my hand suddenly snapped in half. Ye Qingren looked at my expression then, kept silent and said nothing. As for my commotion, it also attracted the attention of Chu Kai's squad. Haha, what's wrong? Is someone unable to listen to this anymore? Our Tianhao is destined for wealth and luxury, Gu Wu. Don't you go getting jealous. In your next life, if you also get reincarnated into a rich family, who knows, the Yi family's young mistress might actually look at you. The surrounding people didn't even bother to hide their mockery toward me, but Ye Qingren couldn't endure it anymore. She stood straight up, walked right in front of Chu Kai, and delivered a direct kick straight into Chu Kai's desk. The few kids who were shouting noisily just now instantly shut up and didn't dare to utter a word. Right at this moment, the voice of a middle-aged man rang out from outside the classroom. Is this class 1? The middle-aged man who walked in was around 40 years old, with a well-proportioned build, a face that looked somewhat worn out, and hair already speckled with a few gray strands. He was dressed like a driver. The sneakers on his feet were already somewhat torn, and his hands were even more rough and calloused. If I didn't guess wrong, the person in front of me was exactly Han Tianhao's dad. Han Tianhao didn't expect Father Han to arrive so quickly. Before he could even think of the words to deal with it, Chu Kai, standing next to him, already spoke up in confusion. Who are you? The other students also kept sizing up Father Han. Father Han smiled gently. I am Hans. He is my family's driver. Han Tianhao almost blurted it out in a panic. He frantically ran to Father Han's side. Under Father Han's completely bewildered gaze, he said, my dad is too busy and doesn't have time, so he let our family's driver come instead. So he's the Han family's driver. I told you so. How could CEO Han dress like this? That makes sense. Tianhao's dad is the chairman of the Han group after all. He handles a million things every day. How could he find time to come to school? Chu Kai and the other classmates each added a line, making Han Tianhao smile extremely awkwardly. As for Father Han standing nearby, he clearly realized his son was bragging in front of his classmates, impersonating the young master of the Han family. He pulled at Han Tianhao. Tianhao, how can you be so insolent? Who allowed you to call me directly by name? You are merely a driver for our Han family. How dare you be disrespectful to me again? I'll fire you from the Han estate. That's right, a mere driver. Actually dares to pull and drag the boss's son around. Aren't you looking at what your status is? Father Han's face became extremely unsightly. As for Han Tianhao, he feared that if they stayed any longer, it would expose the fact that he wasn't the young master of the Han family. As for Han Tianhao, he feared that if they stayed any longer, it would expose his true identity as not being the young master of the Han family. He immediately pushed Father Han away forcefully. The teacher is waiting for you in the office. Why haven't you hurried up and gone yet? Looking at his son's highly anxious expression, Father Han instantly understood. His son was afraid of having his identity exposed by the classmates in the room. Even though he was displeased with Han Tianhao's behavior, but for the sake of his son, so that he could have a better life at school. He could only bow and scrape, then leave. Chu Kai spoke up with dissatisfaction. Tianhao, that driver of your family really has no manners at all. He's definitely counting on the fact that he's been a driver at the Han estate for a long time to act all high and mighty. Han Tianhao, hearing the surrounding classmates, showed disdain and contempt toward his dad, smiled extremely awkwardly. As for me, who was pretending to do homework nearby, a clear, drama-watching smile appeared on my face. What are you laughing at? Is something funny? As for what's funny, you wouldn't understand, but I guess you will understand in the future. Looking at Han Tianhao's anxious expression, when he was afraid of having his identity exposed, I felt incredibly refreshed in my heart. I wonder how later on, when the lie of Han Tianhao is completely exposed, he will wrap this whole thing up. Half an hour passed. Father Han, with a dark face, walked out of the office. When Han Tianhao saw Father Han's expression, his face turned completely white, but Chu Kai's squad was still right next to him. Han Tianhao could only brace himself to maintain his composure, walking up in front of Father Han. Is everything done? If it's done, then hurry up and leave. Right now he was anxious to make Father Han leave, but Chu Kai and the class proactively stepped forward at this moment. Hey, Mr. Driver, our Tianhao just didn't do well on the exam this time. In front of your boss, you should know what to say, right? Father Han said nothing. Chu Kai thought Father Han was being ungrateful, so he immediately spoke up. Miss Yi told us to take good care of Tianhao. If you dare to utter a single word about this matter, then let alone us. Even Miss Ye won't let you off easily. Chu Kai smugly thought his threat had worked, while I, being inside the classroom, almost couldn't hold back and burst out laughing. This scene is good now. Not only did his grades tank and force a parent invitation, but Tianhao right now truly had to bite the bullet and take it. He hastily pushed Father Han away. All right, I'm in a hurry to go home. Hurry up and go get the car. At this point, Father Han could no longer suppress his rage. He pushed Han Tianhao away, forcefully raised his hand, and slapped him across the face. This slap made one side of Han Tianhao's face burn like fire. Chu Kai instantly flew into a rage. Are you crazy? Our Tianhao is a young master. You are just a driver who gave you the nerve to lay your hands on Tianhao. Just based on the fact that I am— Shut up. Father Han was caught off guard and his entire body stumbled back a few steps. Han Tianhao proudly lifted his chin, his words full of threats. This is school. In front of so many classmates, you actually dare to hit me. I know my dad gave you the right to discipline me, but you are still just a driver for our Han family. Don't think that you can actually lecture me. Why haven't you hurried up and gone to drive your car yet? Do you still want to stay here so others can watch the Han family become a laughingstock? Every single sentence of Han Tianhao was reminding Father Han that this was school, and there were still classmates around. Seeing this, Father Han, despite his heart being full of rage, could only swallow his anger, and furiously flipped his sleeve to leave the classroom. I craned my neck, wanting to see how the situation outside was. Ye Qing ran, however, packed all of my homework into my backpack. By the time I snapped out of it and looked again, I found the desk surface had long been clean and tidy. Ye Qingren tapped my head lightly. Watched enough of the drama. Let's go home. The two of us walked out of the classroom, one after another. Summer break had arrived. Ye Qingren specially drew up a summer break plan for me. After the efforts of the previous 2 months or more, I had successfully slimmed down to 65 kilograms. Summer break was the best final sprint phase. In August, seeing that summer break was about to end, the class group chat suddenly became lively that day. I saw in the group chat that Han Tianhao enthusiastically invited everyone to a resort villa to beat the heat. Everyone heard that. Getting to go to a resort villa, everyone was super excited. When looking at this message, I couldn't help but smirk. Looks like Han Tianhao was scared that the last incident with Father Han coming to school made his classmates doubt his identity. So he specially found an opportunity to prove that he's the young master of the Han family. Moreover, he used his words very carefully, only saying he was inviting everyone to a resort villa to beat the heat, but didn't explicitly state that the villa belonged to his family. This would help him avoid a lot of trouble later on. I rolled over on my bed then, ran over to the room of Ye Qingren right next door. I didn't knock on the door. When pushing the door open to enter, Ye Qingren was sitting by the window reading a book. I smiled playfully and asked, Qingren, are you free the day after tomorrow? There's this thing Han Tianhao from my class Said he wants to invite our classmates to a resort villa to beat the heat. Do you want to come with me? The moment she heard the name Han Tianhao, the smile on Ye Qingren's face instantly vanished. Not going. You're really not going, but there's a good drama to watch. Besides, I'm still not part of Class A yet. Just go by yourself, be a bit careful on the road. Seeing that Ye Qingren had no interest, I didn't force her either. Just as I was about to turn around and leave, Ye Qingren suddenly spoke up. Give me the address. You changed your mind? No. If it gets too late, I'll know where to ask Manager Lee to pick you up. Hearing that, I nodded. All right, got it. I intended to drag Ye Qingren along to watch a good drama, but unexpectedly she didn't have the slightest bit of interest. Then I'll just have to go watch the drama alone. In the blink of an eye, the day of the appointment at the resort villa arrived. It was located in the mountain area on the outskirts of the city. It was called a villa, but in reality it was a large mansion with a courtyard. At this time, the other classmates were already fully present, while Han Tianhao was wearing casual loungewear, acting as if he had been living here for a very long time. He invited the classmates into the living room. Everyone make yourselves at home, don't be shy. Chu Kai's squad, seeing such a large mansion for the first time, was momentarily so stunned that they were at a loss for words. Tianhao, your house is huge. That's right, Tianhao. Do you guys normally live here? This is way too luxurious, everyone praised nonstop. Even though many people in Class A came from wealthy families, at most they only lived in high-end apartments or small villas on the outskirts. Compared to the Han family, they were still far behind, like night and day. Han Tianhao just smiled and didn't speak, offering no further explanation. Oh right, Tianhao. Where is Miss Yi? Why didn't she come with you? Han Tianhao shoved both hands into his pockets, saying she'll be here in a bit. Let's just hang out first. Is everyone here yet? Why do I feel like we're still missing one person? Is it Gu Wu? That's right, Gu. Wu still hasn't arrived. He probably has no face left to come here. That's not for sure. The guy has simped for Miss Yi for a whole 2 years. How could he pass up any opportunity to get close to her? Sounds of mockery directed at me echoed all around. Right at this moment, the doorbell outside the courtyard rang out. Chu Kai was the first to stand up. It must be Miss Yeo who has arrived. Let me go open the door. Chu Kai proactively went to open the door, but the exact moment the door opened, he saw a handsome guy with an incredibly outstanding aura. Chu Kai froze. Who might you be? I'm Gu Wu. Gu Wu! Han Tianhao heard the voice and walked over. Chu Kai, why are you taking so long? Even though Chu Kai was his best friend, he was also afraid the guy would steal his thunder. However, when Han Tianhao stepped forward, he raised his eyes and saw my handsome face. Seeing this, he was stunned, momentarily not recognizing who the person in front of him was. I proactively spoke up, Tianhao. Forgot about me already after just that short a time. Seeing me standing right in front of him, the smile on Han Tianhao's face instantly stiffened. I glanced around at the inside. What's wrong, aren't you guys gonna welcome me in? Seeing that both Han Tianhao and Chu Kai remained silent, I ignored them and just casually pushed my suitcase inside. By the time Han Tianhao and Chu Kai managed to react, I had already walked right into the middle of the living room. The girls in class were still laughing and chatting just a second ago, but the moment they raised their heads and saw a handsome guy pushing a suitcase inside, those girls were almost completely dazed. In their class, since when did they have such a top-tier male god? Han Tianhao chased after me into the room. Gu Wu, you, everyone heard Han Tianhao call the handsome guy in front of them Gu Wu, and someone immediately gasped in shock. You're saying this is Gu Wu? Are you kidding me? How could he possibly be Gu Wu? The classmates originally didn't believe it, but after carefully examining my face, they realized the features really looked like before. Gu Wu, it really is Gu Wu. Everyone saw that I had successfully lost weight, and every single one of their faces revealed a look of pure astonishment. In the entire hall, only Han Tianhao's expression was unsightly. He didn't expect that within just one summer break, I would have successfully lost weight. If Ye Yuyan saw Gu Wu looking like this, would she look at Gu Wu with a different gaze? Hey everyone, long time no see. A while ago, my parents went on a business trip, so I specially prepared some small gifts for everyone. Hope you guys like them. Saying that, I immediately opened the suitcase only to show the inside packed full of imported goods, expensive electronic devices, and even exquisite branded jewelry. When the classmates saw these things, almost all of them rushed right over. Whoa, isn't this a high-end luxury brand watch? Gu Wu, did your parents go on an overseas business trip? This bracelet, isn't it a limited edition? I heard it's super expensive. And this gaming console too, it must cost several thousand yuan. They completely forgot that today, Han Tianhao was supposed to be the host of the party. Looking at the suitcase packed tight with goods worth hundreds of thousands of yuan, Han Tianhao's face became even more unsightly. I looked over at Han Tianhao and Chu Kai. Tianhao, Chu Kai, you two come pick a item as well. Just now, when Chu Kai saw the things inside the suitcase, both of his eyes had already lit up, but very quickly after that he suddenly recalled what Han Tianhao had said before, that my dad was just a driver, and the family basically didn't have much money. How could he just after one business trip bring back such expensive gifts like this? Chu Kai spoke up disdainfully. What's there to pick? After all, it's all just high-end knockoffs, right? Chu Kai, Guwu is being so kind. What nonsense are you spouting? Yeah, this is obviously real stuff at a glance. How could it be fake? There's even foreign text and anti-counterfeiting labels on this Chu Kai. If you don't want it, fine, but don't go slandering people. Everyone flips their attitude real fast. Hearing that, Chu Kai also began to feel shaken. As for me, I had long sat down on the nearby sofa, watching everyone happily picking their gifts. Seeing Han Tianhao keeping his distance and not daring to come close, I smiled and spoke up. Tianhao, this resort? Villa belongs to your family, right? It looks really massive. A seemingly simple question of mine instantly put Han Tianhao into a total dilemma, because this villa basically didn't belong to him. This was just a mansion that the Han family normally rarely visited. This time he got the keys, entirely because the whole Han family had gone abroad for vacation. He had asked his driver father for the keys, which were borrowed, thanks to a relationship with the housemaid. But at this moment everyone's gazes were all locked onto Han Tianhao alone. Seeing that I brought a mountain of expensive gifts, Han Tianhao could only bite the bullet and open his mouth. That's right, it's my house. For such a large mansion, how come there isn't even a single maid around? My follow-up question left Han Tianhao momentarily at a loss for how to answer. To get the keys to this mansion was already not an easy thing at all. He knew, where on earth could he find maids now? The other classmates also found it strange. That's right, Tianhao. Not only are there no maids, but there isn't even any security. Normally, who cleans up such a massive villa? Han Tianhao quickly witted out an answer. About this, it's because everyone was coming over to hang out, so I let them all go home. I was afraid they would affect our fun. Seeing that Han Tianhao had found an excuse, I then put on a troubled look and spoke up. But our stomachs are all growling from hunger here. Without any maids, who is going to cook for us to eat? Of course, I will personally go down to the kitchen to entertain everyone. Han Tianhao was still very confident in his cooking skills. Seeing that everyone had no objections, I smiled and continued. Tianhao is personally going to the kitchen. Then nothing could be better. I heard that for huge conglomerates like the Han Group, you probably get to eat sea cucumber and abalone at home every day, as well as imported Wagyu beef and foie gras. I've wanted to taste them for a very long time. Tianhao, we've traveled a long way to get here. Surely you've prepared all of that for us, right? Sea cucumber, abalone, Wagyu beef, and foie gras. Where on earth was he supposed to find those things to prepare? Before Han Tianhao could even open his mouth, the other classmates already chimed in. That's right, Tianhao. Guwu has taken the trouble to prepare so many small gifts for us. Like this, so we also want to taste those gourmet delicacies. Don't tell me you're stingy. What nonsense are you spouting? Our Tianhao is the eldest young master of the Han family. It's just a single meal. How could he not bear to give to us? It's not like it's anything rare. Right, Tianhao? Hearing this, Han Tianhao's face turned pale. This time he had only prepared some barbecue skewers, intending to use the charcoal grill outdoors in the evening. But now I had put him on a pedestal like this. How was he supposed to break the news? Seeing Han Tianhao remained silent, I decisively stood up. Tianhao must have prepared them for us. Let me go check out the kitchen to see what delicacies are prepared. After saying that, I started walking toward the kitchen. Seeing this, Han Tianhao immediately stopped me. He forced a smile and said, everyone took the trouble to come all this way. Of course, I've got it all ready. It's just that the ingredients are still on the way. Since we're putting effort into eating, naturally we must eat the freshest ones. Don't you guys agree? The surrounding classmates, seeing that a grand feast was actually coming, nodded one after another. I subtly raised my eyebrows. In this deep mountain valley, where on earth could he source fresh seafood? It was obvious that Han Tianhao hadn't prepared anything at all. Let's see how Han Tianhao plans to wrap up this show later. Taking advantage of when everyone wasn't paying attention. How was he going to wrap it up? Taking advantage of when everyone wasn't paying attention. Han Tianhao walked out to the courtyard and quickly called Ye Yuyan. On the other end of the line, Ye Yuyan's voice sounded a bit annoyed. What is it, Yuyan, when you come over later? Could you help me bring some abalone? Sea cucumber and things like that? Abalone and sea cucumber? Did you not prepare any ingredients? Everyone suddenly said they wanted to eat abalone and sea cucumber. And there's also Wagyu beef and foie gras, too. I don't know where to look for them. Ye Yuyan went silent for a moment. Let me figure something out. She hung up. Afterward, a gleam of joy flashed in Han Tianhao's eyes. Thank you, Yuyan. If it weren't for you, I really wouldn't know what to do. Han Tianhao only wanted to quickly dispel everyone's doubts, completely failing to notice the unusual tone in Ye Yan's emotions. Not far away, I was leaning against the window, watching Han Tianhao sneakily making a call to Ye Yan out in the courtyard. I unconsciously raised my eyebrows and let out a chuckle. I thought Han Tianhao had come up with some clever method, but it turns out he was crying for help from Ye Yan. But now things are different from the past. With the Gu Corporation withdrawing capital, the Ye family is hanging by a thread. The Ye family no longer has that much money to back up Ye Yan and support Han Tianhao anymore. Right at this moment, my phone rang. Seeing the caller's name, the corner of my mouth subtly curved up. Who knew that even heaven was helping me? I pressed the button to answer. Xiao Wu, are you free today, Auntie? Yi is looking for you for something. Is there something you need, Auntie? Auntie just misses you so much. Today, Auntie wants to invite you to a meal. Can you see if you can come over to the house to hang out for a bit? Hearing Mother Ye's tone, today Auntie wants to invite you to a meal. Can you see if you can come over to the house to hang out for a bit? Hearing Mother Ye's tone, I understood Mother Ye's mindset all too well. I glanced over. Han Tianhao was still out in the courtyard waiting for Ye Yan. Auntie, is Ye Yan also there? Of course she is. Yan misses you a lot too. She offended you before, and she has been feeling guilty in her heart all this time. Today Auntie told her she must apologize to you. Is that so? That's great. Then see you in a bit. In a bit? Yes, I have some business to attend to in the evening. So let's just schedule the meal for lunchtime. I'll head over right away. What's wrong, Auntie? Is it inconvenient? If so, then let's forget it. No. It's not inconvenient at all. Then Auntie will go cook right away. Wait for you to come over, okay? All right. I hung up the phone, unable to help but let out a cold laugh in my heart. Mother Ye originally always viewed money as her life and was best at playing calculating schemes, anxiously calling me over this time. Something big must have definitely happened to the Ye family. I wasn't in any rush either, turning around to walk into the living room. Seeing it was already close to 12 p.m., everyone's stomachs were already growling from hunger. Han Tianhao was still anxiously looking outside, waiting for Ye Yan to bring the ingredients to him. Finally, someone couldn't hold back and spoke up. Tianhao, I'm about to starve to death here. When are we going to eat? Yeah, it's already close to 12 o'clock. Are we still going to get to eat that grand feast? Or what? People around began to complain. Han Tianhao hastily reassured them. Soon. It's definitely coming soon. Let me go call and check again. Han Tianhao pulled out his phone and immediately called Ye Yan, but the other end of the line continuously showed a busy signal, completely with no one picking up. Seeing this, Han Tianhao's face became a few degrees more unsightly. Seeing the timing was ripe, I stood up and smiled. I think it probably won't be coming. My family has a little business, so I'll take my leave first. You guys have fun hanging out? The words I said directly caused the mood of the other classmates to become unsettled. They had been waiting here for several hours, yet they didn't even get a single sip of hot tea. Han Tianhao wanted to stop me, but I had already picked up my suitcase, waving my hand to say goodbye to the other classmates. Right at this moment, a luxury car pulled up in front of the door. Everyone thought lunch had finally arrived, but unexpectedly, the person stepping down from the car was Ye Qing. Ye Qingren, holding a sun umbrella, walked up in front of me. Under the bright sunlight, Ye Qingren and I looked like a perfect match. The classmates simultaneously looked over. Why did Ye Qingren personally come to pick up Gu Wu? Could the two of them be dating? No idea, but I see Gu Wu's family background looks like this. He doesn't look like a poor student struggling to overcome hardships at all. How could he be a poor student? Gu Wu casually gave away a watch. It's completely a 5-digit brand or higher. Hearing the whispers of the surrounding classmates echoing nonstop, this time even Chu Kai began to doubt my background, feeling that Gu Wu didn't look like a driver's son at all. Tianhao, did you look into the wrong thing or what? Yeah, looking closely at him. This Gu Wu actually looks pretty handsome after losing weight. What do you mean pretty handsome? He's extremely handsome, okay? The gossiping whispers of those few classmates made Han Tianhao feel extremely uncomfortable in his heart. He lowered his head to look at his phone. He looked down at his phone for a moment, not understanding why Ye Yan wasn't picking up his calls. He had absolutely no idea that right now at the Ye mansion, Ye Yan was sitting in the living room, staring blankly at the phone on the table. Mother Ye, not even knowing how many times she had reheated the food, spoke up coldly. When Gu Wu arrives later, you better fix your attitude for me. Only Gu Wu is worthy of being a son-in-law to our Ye family. Mother Yi snatched the phone on the table from Ye Yan, then glanced at the pile of lobsters, abalones, and sea cucumbers that she had sneakily brought out from the house. She said coldly, "It's best you break up with that boyfriend of yours soon. despite Ye Yuyan's face being extremely gloomy. Mom, you can't talk about him like that. Good my foot. He just sees that our family has money, so he wants to climb social ladders. I've seen plenty of men like that. Only you would dive headfirst into that kind of crowd. Our family is at a dead end now. The Gu family withdrew their capital and your dad's business is about to go under. If you still want to be the eldest young mistress of the Yi family, then hurry up and butter him up properly. Marrying Gu Wu early is the main priority. Right when Mother Yi was lecturing Ye Yuyan, a knock rang out at the door. Mother Yi hastily fixed her posture, put on a bright smile, and walked toward the door. But who would have thought that after opening the door, the person she saw wasn't me, but rather the secretary next to my dad? Are you Mrs. Ye? I'm so sorry. Our eldest young master has an unexpected matter, so he couldn't make it and specially told me to come, inform you. What do you mean he couldn't make it? Hearing that I wasn't coming, Ye Yuyan's rage instantly flared up. We've been waiting at home for several hours. The food has been reheated 3 times already. It's way past the appointment time by so long, yet that precious son-in-law just sends a butler over to say he can't make it. This is clearly playing with us on purpose. Ye Yuyan stood straight up, rushing straight out of the Yi mansion. Ye Yuyan, where are you going? Hurry up and come back here. Ye Yuyan didn't even bother to care about her mother, got into the car, slammed on the gas pedal, and drove straight toward the Gu mansion. At this time, Ye Qingren and I were having lunch at home. Outside the door, Ye Yuyan's shout rang out, Gu Wu, open the door for me. My parents had both gone to work by now, leaving only me and Ye Qingren at home. I walked over to the window, glancing toward the outside of the Gu family villa. Seeing Ye Yuyan fuming with rage, I couldn't help but raise my eyebrows and smile. I remember very clearly, in the past life when the Yi family was at its peak, the Gu family was the first targeted by the Yi family, causing the Gu family's business to tank miserably. At that time, my parents wanted to arrange a meeting with Ye Yuyan, but they were heartlessly turned away right at the door by her. Now she could be considered to have experienced for once the exact disdain and humiliation that my parents had to endure in the past life. Gu Wu, I know you're inside. Open the door for me right now, Ye Yuyan angrily shouted while Ye Qingren in the living room had already walked over to the landline phone, pressing the button to call the Gu family security. Someone is causing trouble. Please remove this person for us. She hung up the phone and walked back to the dining table. Sit down and eat. Looked out the window, seeing 2 security guards of the Gu family had firmly restrained both of Ye Yuyan's arms. Even though Ye Yuyan struggled with all her might, she was still pushed down to the ground. The security guard lost his patience. Get lost. Hurry up and leave, beat it. Don't come here causing trouble anymore. I'm looking for Gu Wu. Tell Gu Wu to come out and meet me. Still not leaving. If you don't leave, we'll call the cops, Ye Yuyan. Since when had she ever endured this humiliation? Her face instantly turned unsightly. I am the eldest young mistress of the Yi family. Who gave you guys the nerve to dare treat me like this? The Ye family isn't even worthy of carrying the shoes for the Gu. Family isn't worthy either. Besides, don't you know your family is about to go bankrupt? Still acting like a young mistress. I bet in a few days you'll have to live off the air. The matter of the Yi family had long been rumored all over the circle. The security guards working in this villa area almost all knew about it. Ye Yuyan's face darkened completely. What nonsense are you guys spouting? Looks like Miss Yi still doesn't know anything. The Ye family was heavily in debt before, with many collaboration projects. If it weren't for our President Gu backing you guys up, I'm afraid you would have gone bankrupt long ago. Your Ye family was ungrateful first, yet you still have the nerve to come here looking for our eldest young master. Us chasing you away is already giving you a lot of face. The words of the security guard trampled Ye Yuyan's self-esteem into the black mud. She recalled what Mother Yi had told her today about the Yi family hitting a dead end. She originally thought that it was just the Ye family, that her mom wanted me to marry into their family, so she deliberately exaggerated the family situation. But she didn't expect it all to be the truth. I advise you'd better save your energy. Instead of coming to look for our eldest young master, why don't you figure out a way to keep your title as the eldest young mistress of the Yi family? After saying that, the 2 security guards slammed the gates of the Gu mansion shut. Outside the iron gates of the courtyard, Ye Yuyan clenched her fists. Very well, Gu Wu. Very well, Gu family, to think you'd be this heartless. Ye Yuyan huffily got into her car and left. Watching her back as she drove away in a hurry, a sense of refreshment welled up in my heart. Can't even take this much humiliation already. The difficult days ahead are still waiting for you. When my parents returned in the evening, that Ye Yuyan girl actually still had the nerve to come to our house to cause trouble. I comforted her from the side. Mom, don't be mad if you're unhappy. Next time we'll just hang a sign in front of the house that says Ye Yuyan and dogs are not allowed inside. My dad's expression softened a bit. This brat is only good at making trouble. But this Ye family is indeed too much. How could they do something like that? Sigh, this old man. Treated Ye Yuyan so well in the past. But Ye Yuyan is just an ungrateful backstabber. Seeing that my parents' emotions were ripe, I then opened my mouth to ask them. I remember before Uncle Ye invested capital into the shares of our Gu Corporation. Our family also holds shares in the Ye family, right? Yes, that's correct. I heard my classmates say that lately the Ye family is facing a lot of difficulties. I think since the relationship between our families is already severed, why don't we contact a lawyer? Buy back the Gu Corporation shares held by the Yi family. Consider it as helping them a bit, but in return, the shares our family holds in the Yi Corporation must also be withdrawn and refunded by them. I knew very well that my dad was a soft-hearted person. Although he has now resolved not to get involved with the Ye Corporation, it would be hard to avoid him softening up in the future. In addition, with the Gu Corporation shares that the Ye family currently holds, each month the Yi family can receive a dividend payout, up to 8 digits. This is definitely a chance for the Ye family to catch their breath. What I want is for the Ye family to never have the chance to turn the tables again. I want the Yi family to also taste the flavor of poverty, losing everything. The feeling of losing everything. My dad indeed thought it over for a while. You're right. After all, the two families no longer have any relationship. Company matters also need to be settled clearly. Seeing my dad agree, the heavy stone in my heart could be considered lifted. When something happens to the Yi family later, I can't let my dad's investment in the Yi Corporation take a loss. Now that we can withdraw the capital, it counts as cutting losses just in time, and we can draw a clear line with the Yi Corporation. Furthermore, I remember in the past life, the crisis of the Yi family wasn't just as simple as bankruptcy. It was mostly about being buried under a mountain of debt. It was just that, back then I had married Ye Yuyan. The Gu family and the Yi family held cross shares of each other, forcing the Gu family to take a heavy hit to help the Yi family overcome difficulties. In this life, Ye Yuyan, I'm afraid you can only rely on yourself. At the dining table, Ye Qingren kept completely silent. I noticed that her mood was a bit solemn. Normally, she rarely showed such an expression. Ye Qingren, are you unhappy? Do you care about the Ye family a lot? Care about the Yi family. In a certain sense, I actually care quite a bit. It's just that what I care about is when the Yi family will go bankrupt, and when Ye Yuyan will suffer a total defeat. However, I couldn't say the thoughts in my heart out loud. I looked at her in confusion. Why ask that all of a sudden? Are you caring about the Ye family? Or are you caring about Ye Yuyan? Looking at Ye Qingren's serious expression, I suddenly burst out laughing. I don't care about the Yi family, and I don't care about Ye Yuyan either. What I care about is that our Gu family won't get dragged down and won't get scammed out of money. Rest assured. I know that before the Ye family didn't treat you well. There's no way I could go and pity them. Qingren, I'm always on your side. Hearing my words, Ye Qingren was stunned. Only after a long while did she turn her head back. You're always on my side, really? Of course. Then what about Ye Yuyan? What does she have to do with me? You used to like her a lot before. Like you said, that was in the past. People always have to look forward. I used to like her, but now I don't anymore. Then who do you like now? I like my family and myself. Right as Ye Qingren lowered her eyes, I walked up in front of Ye Qingren and grabbed her hand. Naturally, you are also my family. With just one sentence, Ye Qingren suddenly felt her heart skip a beat. Family. But she didn't want to be just family with him. At the same time, inside the resort villa, Han Tianhao was alone cleaning up the mess. Not only did all the classmates leave in the afternoon, but also because Ye Yuyan broke the appointment, making him feel like he completely lost face in front of everyone. Even Chu Kai found an excuse to leave in the evening. The more Han Tianhao thought about it, the more upset he got. He pulled out his phone, still not giving up, and continued to call Ye Yuyan. Unlike the previous times, this time Ye Yuyan picked up. Tianhao! Han Tianhao! He didn't notice the exhaustion in Ye Yuyan's voice, but angrily spoke up. Ye Yuyan, you didn't answer my calls the entire day today. Where on earth did you go? Do you know that you made me completely lose all face in front of the classmates? But this time, Ye Yuyan on the other end of the line remained silent for a long time. Han Tianhao's heart skipped a beat. After realizing the situation wasn't right, he immediately suppressed his emotions. Yuyan, I'm sorry, I was just too hot-headed. I didn't really want to break up with you. Are you okay? On the other end of the line, a long silence passed before Ye Yuyan's exhausted voice was heard. Tianhao, let's just calm down for a few days. On the other end, Ye Yuyan hung up the phone. This caused Han Tianhao's face to instantly turn unsightly. It has only been a single day. What on earth happened the next day? The news of Ye Yuyan and Han Tianhao having a fight had already spread throughout the entire class. Han Tianhao, who usually was very active in the class group chat, didn't say a single word during that whole day. I wasn't surprised at all by this outcome. As for me right now, studying was way more important than following the drama. At dusk, Dad came back home with a worried look. Mom revealed clear anxiety. Did things at the company not go smoothly today? Why do you look so downcast? Today, the Ye family came to look for me again. I already refused them. Last night, Xiaowu mentioned recovering our capital and withdrawing shares, but I still don't know how to bring it up to them. After all, it's a relationship of over 10 years. In the past life, Mother, he was exactly seeing through this soft-hearted weakness of Dad's, which was why she repeatedly begged the Gu family for help. In the end, if our Gu family doesn't help, we'll get blamed for being heartless and meaningless, having a reputation even worse than a beast. At this moment, I took the initiative to speak up. Dad, how about leaving this matter to me and the lawyer to negotiate? What does a kid like you know about withdrawing shares and recovering capital? I'm not small anymore. Although I don't understand about withdrawing shares or recovering capital, the lawyer understands. I'm going over there to persuade Auntie, yet to return the shares to our family. I promise absolutely not to cause trouble. Looking at my serious expression, my dad took a deep breath, then said, "All right then, you just go try and see. Remember, it's fine if we take a little loss. Just don't let people say we are too heartless." Hearing that in my heart, I couldn't help but let out a self-deprecating laugh. Our Gu family would still be considered as having no affection. Over these years, the help given to the Ye family has already been more than enough. But the Ye family is just a bunch of ungrateful backstabbers, fundamentally not deserving of this generous treatment from our Gu family. This time I must make the Ye family must make them take losses to the point of not even having money to marry a new wife. The next day, I took the initiative to bring the lawyer right to their house. Mother Ye, because the stock market of the Yi Corporation recently crashed, was extremely vexed. When she heard the doorbell ring, she even thought it was a creditor coming for her. She impatiently opened the door, knocking on the door so early in the morning. Didn't I already say the money would be paid back? Mother Yi just finished her words, raised her head, and immediately saw me standing in front of her. Auntie, it's Auntie Yi, right? I am Gu Wu. Seeing the person standing in front of her was me, Mother Ye's mouth seemingly couldn't close. Only a few months have passed. How could that fat Gu Wu from before change this much? Xiaowu, is it really Xiaowu? Last time I had something to do, so I missed it. This time I specially came to visit you. Auntie Ye probably won't be mad at me, right, Mother? Yi smiled so widely, her mouth couldn't close. How could I be mad at you? Hurry, come inside. Xiaowu really is getting more and more handsome, Auntie. Almost didn't recognize you at all. As she spoke, she enthusiastically led me into the house. Xiaowu, this time you came to look for Yu Yan, right? Let Auntie call and tell her to come back right away. This girl no idea where she went to play again. You must lecture her a bit. For me, Mother Yi happily brewed tea for me, Auntie. There's no need to go through the trouble. This time I didn't come here to look for you, Yan, but to look for you. Look for me? I glanced at the lawyer next to me. This gentleman is the lawyer of our Gu Corporation. This trip is to discuss with you about buying back the shares. Buying back the shares. Mother Ye's heart skipped a beat. She was afraid I would snatch the money of the Yi family. My dad heard that lately the Yi Corporation is under a lot of stress. Thinking about how before the Yi Corporation still held shares in the Gu family, he specially called the lawyer here to buy back the Ye Corporation's shares in the Gu family at a high price. It's also to casually help the Yi Corporation get through this difficult period. The words I said sounded very pleasant to the ear, but the hidden meaning inside was exactly wanting to sever ties. In Mother Ye's heart, she was full of hesitation. Right now, the Ye family is indeed heavily in debt. If they can't repay the debt in time, I'm afraid, even this house of the Yi family will be taken away for Oak Tian. But if they hand over the shares of the Gu Corporation, then in the future, her family will no longer have any income at all. Mother Yi lowered her stance. Xiaowu, taking advantage of you bringing up this matter, Auntie also wants to beg you to help Yu Yan. After her dad passed away, it all relied on the help of your Gu family. But right now, the Ye family is truly at its most difficult stage. Don't know if your dad is willing to lend a hand, to lend our family a sum of money. Auntie guarantees that if the Ye Corporation gets through this, it will definitely return the money immediately. Your family also has shares in the Yi Corporation. If the Ye Corporation has money, later the dividends shared to the Gu family will also be more. Looking at the full look of sincerity on Mother Ye's face, I couldn't help but sneer in my heart. Auntie, right now, how much money does the Ye family need to get through this crisis? Seeing me ask, Mother Yi immediately replied, we still need another billion. We're just short of exactly 1 billion, then our Yi family can get through this disaster. Hearing the number 1 billion, I pretended to be put in a tough spot. There's still a whole billion left. Mother Yi was afraid I wouldn't agree, so she quickly grabbed my hand. Xiaowu, you're a good kid and your dad is a good man too. Auntie really has no other options left. If we don't have this 1 billion, I'm afraid in the future we'll all have to sleep on the streets. Mother Yi knew I was also soft-hearted, just like my dad. At this moment, she cried even more, bitterly whining about all her recent hardships. Guwu Auntie knows Yuyan was foolish before. Auntie already lectured her. Rest assured in my heart, I only accept you Xiaowu as my son-in-law. In the future, when you and Yuyan get married, you'll be my own son. Our two families, Ye and Gu, will still be one family. Hearing these sickening words from Mother Yi, I really couldn't help but pull my hand back. Auntie! Before we were all one family. Why are you being so polite? But 1 billion is truly a very large amount. Even if my Gu family has some money, we can't just lend out 1 billion all at once. Mother Yi panicked a little. Then what do we do now? If we don't have 1 billion, in just a few days those debt collectors will come right to our door to foreclose and sell off our house. I reassured Mother Yi in front of me. Auntie, don't worry. Although our family can't take out that 1 billion, you can actually take it out yourself. Me. Where on earth would I get 1 billion? Auntie, you're holding 5% of our Go family's shares in your hand. Although it's not a lot, the market value should easily be around 700 to 800 million. Right now, the Ye family is short on cash. These 5% shares can bring a little dividend each month. But distant water can't put out a nearby fire considering the deep relationship between our two families all this time. I'll take the liberty to make the decision. To use 1 billion to buy back that 5% of Gu Corporation shares you're holding from the Yi Corporation. When the time comes, I'll tell my dad to figure out a way to sell this 5% stake later. Although my family takes a loss of a few hundred million, it can be considered giving the Yi family a helping hand. That's right. After hearing me say that, Mother Ye suddenly felt swayed. This was no different from suddenly gaining an extra 200 to 300 million. A good deal like this, I'm afraid if you go out there, you'll never encounter it again. But will Mr. Gu agree? My dad is the most soft-hearted person. Just leave it to me to convince him. It will definitely succeed. Seeing Mother Ye still hesitating, unwilling to let go of this sweet bait of the Gu Corporation shares, I immediately added, Auntie, I'm doing this for everyone's own good. I heard those debt collectors have plenty of nasty methods. If you can't pay back the money, they'll even chop off hands and legs. Hearing about chopping off hands and legs, Mother Ye's face turned completely pale. Then let Auntie transfer these shares right away. It's just around when will this money hit the account? Don't be in a hurry, Auntie. I still have one more thing. You absolutely must agree with me. What is it, Auntie? My dad gave me a mission when I came here. I've helped you with such a big favor. So please also buy back the 5% of the Yi Corporation shares, currently held by our Gu Corporation. This is my family wanting to withdraw capital. But right now, my family really can't dig up that much money at all, Auntie. I've already calculated it. Right now, the stock of the Yi Corporation is plummeting hard, and the value of the shares has dropped by more than half. At this time, you recovering 5% of the Yi Corporation shares from my family is naturally the best bargain. Later, when the Yi Corporation recovers, it won't be too late for you to sell them. Think about it carefully. Before, my family held 5% of the Yi Corporation shares, with a value up to 1 entire billion. Now that the Yi Corporation stock has nosedived, this 5% stake isn't even worth 200 million. No matter how you count it, my Gu family is still the side taking the heavier loss. Furthermore, just like I said, I already made up an extra 300 million for you. You can't not help me with this little matter, right? Mother Yi was made completely dizzy by my numbers and figures. Although she was an old fox, when it came to company management, she was way too inexperienced, which was why she was led by the nose by me. That's true. This matter I must definitely help. Otherwise, it would really be too heartless. If it was about withdrawing capital from the Gu Corporation, Mrs. Ye would be a little hesitant. But if it was about buying back the Ye Corporation shares from the Gu family, Mrs. Ye couldn't have asked for more. After all, these shares could be transferred and sold later, which was also a huge sum of money. Plus, they wouldn't need to pay out dividends to the Gu family every month anymore. Mrs. Yi patted my hand. Auntie, we'll go get my personal stamp right now and also the previous share agreement. Good boy, you wait for Auntie. Here, okay? I smiled and nodded. Right the next second, after Mrs. Yi left, I withdrew my smile from just now, leisurely taking a sip of tea. Young Master Gu. The lawyer was just about to open his mouth to ask, but was stopped by my glance. Only then did the lawyer not dare to continue speaking. Very soon after Mrs. Yi ran out from the bedroom, the contract was quickly finalized. I had obtained the share agreement of the two families, Gu and Yi, from back then. My face finally broke into a smile. This meant our Gu family finally no longer had any entanglements with the Ye family anymore. Auntie, regarding this sum of money, please rest assured. The money will soon be transferred into the account. However, we need to agree on something beforehand. The Ye family is currently facing difficulties. I think for the 200 million to be paid back to our Goo Corporation, I'm afraid the Ye family won't be able to scramble it up right away. Hearing up to hear mother, he also nodded, expressing her absolute agreement. Therefore, I've thought of two options. The first option is to deduct it directly from the 1 billion that we are paying back to the Ye family. The second option is that the Ye family can owe this 200 million for now. I'll have the lawyer draft a contract. We just need to find any asset of the Ye Corporation with equivalent value to use as collateral, and that will do. Collateral it is then. Mother Ye, almost without any hesitation, immediately chose the second option. This was exactly as I expected. All right. I looked over at the lawyer holding the laptop in the back. Based on the contract we just agreed on, have you finished drafting it? It's already drafted, sir. The lawyer presented the newly drafted contract on the computer, placing it in front of me and Mother Ye. Print it out. Auntie, yeah, if you look through it and see no problems, then we can sign it today. That way, we can also quickly transfer the money to the Ye family. Hearing that, Mother Ye nodded repeatedly. She originally didn't even know how to read a contract, but she just needed to know that the clauses in the contract were beneficial to the Ye family, and that was enough. I sat by the side, leisurely sipping my cup of tea, seeing Mother Ye, after looking it over carefully, sign her name. A satisfied smile finally appeared on her face. Auntie. Yeah, I think for this collateral, let's just use the 5 houses and 3 cars of the Ye family in the city center. However, it feels like it's still a little short. This is going to be tricky. Seeing my troubled expression, Mother Ye was afraid I would change my mind, so she spoke up. I still have some jewelry and family heirloom treasures here. They are all of significant value, at least around 20 million RMB. Wait a moment, let Auntie go fetch them over. Hearing that, I nodded. If that's the case, then it should be enough. Lawyer Wang, please note this down. Yes, young Master Gu. Lawyer Wang very quickly took down what Mother Ye just said, writing them all into the terms of the contract. Seeing Mother Ye sign and put her fingerprint on it, I stood up. Once the company stamp is pressed, our family will immediately transfer the money into the account of the Ye Corporation. Auntie, then I'll take my leave first. Leaving so soon. Why don't you wait for Yu Yan to come back and have dinner? No thank you, Auntie Ye. After saying that, I then led Lawyer Wang out of the villa of the Ye family. I then took Lawyer Wang and left their family villa. Family. I was afraid if I stayed there for another second, I would burst out laughing. Young Master Gu, is it really okay to do this? What's not okay? During this whole time, how much money has our Gu family supplied to the Ye family? It's about time the Ye family pays it back. My expression was nonchalant. In short, I won't let the Gu family take a loss in business anymore. Even less will I let the Ye family take advantage of the Gu family for nothing. When I returned in the evening, Dad was still worried things hadn't gone smoothly. Probably after seeing the hesitant, wanting to speak, but stopping expression of Lawyer Wang. Dad let out a sigh and said, "How much did we lose? Just tell me so I can figure things out." I made 700 million. Made a whole 700 million. Lawyer Wang handed the agreement signed with Auntie Ye today to Dad. Half believing and half doubting, Dad opened the contract. Let me see how you made 700 million. At first, Dad didn't care much, but after opening it up, the more he read, the more he felt something was off. Finally, he even put on his reading glasses, his face full of shock. What is all this? Mrs. Ye signed all of it. Yes, she just wanted that 1 billion, so she accepted severing ties with us. Not only did she return the shares of our Gu family, but she also put up their houses and cars as collateral to us. Dad, it's written clearly in black and white on the contract. Could I still lie to you? Dad couldn't believe his eyes. 5% of the Gu Corporation shares, if casually flipped outside, could be sold for 1.5 billion. Yet the Ye family not only just took 1 billion to return the shares, but also made so many collateral agreements. This is truly too unbelievable. What on earth is going on with this collateral? Dad, doesn't our family hold shares in the Ye Corporation? Auntie Ye couldn't bring out that share money right away. So I told Auntie Ye that with collateral assets of equivalent value like this, the money can be owed first. If the specified deadline comes and there's no way to pay the money, then we can freely auction off these collateral assets to recover our capital. Hearing me say that, Dad was a bit surprised. Gentiles, before, when the Ye family owed our family money at most, they would just write a promissory note. Furthermore, no repayment date was written on the note. Because he was close friends for many years with the Ye family, he wasn't too strict about the promissory note. Over the past year or so, the Ye family has owed us tens of millions. But that mother and daughter always used the excuse of having no ability to pay to shrug it off. Dad didn't expect that this time. I could actually convince Mother Yi to sign a collateral contract. Mom, standing by the side, spoke up. The stock price of the Ye family is currently plunging. 5% of the shares isn't even worth that much money. How could she sign over so many collateral assets, Union? Mom, after all, the Yi family used to be an elite family, Auntie. He doesn't understand much about finance and economy, so naturally she doesn't know the stock market situation. I just said a few more words to the Yi family, and Auntie Ye agreed. But is it really okay to do this, son? What's not okay? The Yi family has owed us quite a lot of money this whole year. The two of them didn't even intend to pay it back. Today, Auntie Ye even showed me her pile of jewelry. It must be worth at least tens of millions. It can be seen that it's not that they don't have the money to pay, but that they don't want to pay. Moreover, now everyone knows the Yi family is in debt. We are willing to shell out money to help them pay off their debts. Doing this is already the absolute limit of benevolence. I looked at my parents in front of me, seriously saying, Dad, Mom, when we do business, we need to value relationships. Gentiles. But if the other party fundamentally doesn't know what's good for them, Gentiles, then we don't need to be too soft-hearted. Gentiles, I will never forget how the Yi family treated our Gu family in the past life. In this life, I'm merely giving them a taste of their own medicine. How are we in this life? I was merely giving them a taste of their own medicine.